Hello, little ones. Would you like to hear a story? I've got one for you. Of dungeons and douchebags. Long ago, the land of Irion was governed by many majestic empires. The humans of the plains, the elves of the forest, the Oreads of the mountains, the Merrow of the oceans, and the kobolds and Okiti taking what was left. But, as is so common amongst all with darkness in their hearts, those who had power would not be satisfied until they had more. War broke out, alliances being made and broken in a second, as the once civilized races slew each other in droves in vain attempts to get one more seat of power. The kobolds, on the brink of annihilation, sought out a new draconic god who would protect them. Instead, they found Jogotha. A powerful and terrible dragon, Jogotha cared not for the suffering of those around him. Taking advantage of the warring continent, Jogotha razed Irion to the ground, seeking to carve a mighty empire in his name. A last desperate alliance stood firm against Jogotha, and after a terrible battle, the dragon was finally slain. With Irion torn apart, and no one in any shape to continue the war, an armistice was reached, and the Great War ended. Now, many years later, Irion has started to rebuild, and the Age of Clockwork has begun. And our unlikely heroes, gathered first to celebrate a harvest festival, may soon find themselves at the center of another war. Trevlon, the halfling bard.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this mystery right after I've had this little nap.
Corellian, the kobold paladin.
You must understand, I will do whatever it takes.
Malifane, the half-elf rogue.
You have me rather curious. Tell me something about you.
Thavagoth, the Goliath barbarian.
With victory comes honor. And goes.
And Momo, the Arakakra cleric.
You seem tense. Let me help you.
From humble beginnings, these brave adventurers may soon find themselves the key to saving the fallen empires.
Last time on Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires. Malifane, Thavagoth, and Corellian took Garth Greatscar, the mercenary captain, over to prison to try and call off or halt the bidding procedures while they investigate the foul play that had no doubt happened, with him being the actual proof of it. Trevlon and Momo, however, stayed behind, with Trevlon angrily confronting Momo as to why he bothered to keep the dagger, and Momo breaking down over a rapid loss of faith and growing terror that he has no idea what's going on in the world around him. Trevlon confided his own insecurities, and finally admitted that yes, bad things happen, like being transported to another dimension and given a hell dagger. But we use the bad things to do better in life. So Momo left the dagger behind, and the two reconciled in friendship. The next morning, Roderick Redwald, last of the royalty in Irion, contacted the heroes, explaining that he had received a ransom note for the return of his kidnapped daughter, Marina. Getting a promise of aid to the auction process if they should rescue her, our heroes went toward Rotwelt Road in the slums, where they found Jemvik being interrogated by some of Nulad's men, and Jemvik confirmed that yes, even though some of the prisoners, including Trevlon's sister Vavira, were released, the richer ones were still being held for ransom, though he implicated the Rat King rather than the Okiti in the kidnapping. Reuniting with Ari, who had tracked one of the mutated rats back to its lair, our heroes found the Rat King, who had returned to his experiments. The Rat King said that since he was treated so awfully by the heroes, he had no inclination to trust them or reunite with them after they freed him from jail, and unleashed a towering mass of rats to attack them while he retreated further into his lair. Over the course of the fierce battle, Momo found several of the prisoners, including Sena Nulad, Nalur Nulad's sister, and Marina Redwald, although the Rat King seemed confused when confronted about this, saying he did not remember kidnapping them. Eventually, our heroes triumphed, and Trevlon cast a mighty fireball that sent the monster up in flames, as well as most of the lab, since it was an alchemical lab and there were several unstable concoctions. Barely escaping with the prisoners as the lab exploded, our heroes looked over the carnage, and Corellian received a message from Gemcell, the manager at the auction house, that Lord Stormkirk had arrived and requested their presence immediately. How will the auction process end up? What will our heroes do with their new captive, the Rat King? And is this part of the adventure finally coming to a close? Because the Okidi chapter's been going on for a while. Find out on the next episode of Dungeons and Douchebags, Fallen Empires.
You cheated not only the game, but yourself. You didn't grow, you didn't improve, you took a shortcut and gained nothing. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference. Welcome to Fallen Empires. I'm your host, Alex, and with me are my lovely players. We've got Jojo.
Honey, you got a big storm coming.
Ooh, ow. We've got Scott.
You've created a time paradox! Chronica!
We've got Phil.
Hello, ladies. Let me be the first to introduce you to my collection. Permanently.
Ew!
We've got Atlas.
Ew!
So, when you make a toast sandwich, do you put the toast on the inside or the bread? Asking for a
Toast on the inside.
And
Just
we've
put
got
inside.
Walrus.
Yeah, my ass is grass and it desperately needs mown.
I see. Well, when last we left our heroes in Fallen Empires, they had entered the new lair of the Rat King and blown it the fuck up. In the process, though, they found several of his captives, including Marina Redwald, the daughter of Duke Roderick Redwald, and Sena Nulad, sister of Nalur Nulad, the banker who is bidding against them for control of the Lower Monsoon District. They also managed to drag the Rat King's dumbass out of the fire. I don't know why, but he's safe. Before we get into the actual scene, though, I want to do a quick public rules clarification. I said in the last stream Rat King was immune to poison. The Rat King monster was. Glyn Quinall is not. He's also not a dumbass, so I'm going to assume that when Sena and Momo left, he just ran the hell out of there. But he's looking a lot worse now.
I'll slap him with a lay on hands to cure the poison at least, because while I did indeed run in to save him, it's more because, well, it's necessary.
It's not the poison condition, it's poison damage.
Oh, okay. I'll still slap him for like 5 lay on hands. Not actually slap, but just as I'm holding his wrist with my claws, I will channel 5 points of lay on hands into him so he doesn't fucking die before we can, deal with him.
Alright, cool. He is now slightly more healed than he was before. And as you, the nobles, I guess Sena's technically rich enough to count as a noble, even though she's not by birth. And all the other prisoners you saved are standing out there, alongside Ari, the barmaid from the Fiery Grog Tavern, who helped pinpoint where the Rat King was. Corellian receives a sending message from Gemsel, the dwarven manager of the auction house, where the bidding for the Lower Monsoon District is taking place, saying, hello, is this thing on? Lord Stormkirk is here, and he says your presence is required immediately.
Right. Thank you, Gemsel. We're on our way. So, our patron is in town, and we are requested to go to the auction house.
Oh.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, shit. This is going to be a bit tricky because we have a captive, don't we? It's kind of...
Corellian has very pointedly not let go of the Rat King's, wrist and sort of, raises it slightly.
Okay,
Also, does the fire look like it's gonna spread a lot?
The alchemical explosion was big and just sent shards of wood, metal, and stone everywhere, but the after burning part is comparatively much smaller. So,
all the energy basically went into the boom, and this is just a smolder. It doesn't look like it'll spread too far.
There weren't any... Humor me. There weren't any other casualties or anything of that nature, were there?
You didn't see any.
Okay.
Let's remain ignorant.
It was from when we came in here. It looked fairly empty and untouched in the surrounding areas, at least. I am loath to leave an active fire burning, but we need to go.
We do. Shit. Do we bring Glinquinol with us?
I mean, do we have much else of a choice?
Shit, we could get some guards. He could get them sent back to the prison. I don't know. Okay. No, let's bring him with us. He is probably quite valuable as a reason as to why we might be late and other things. Treblon turns to the variety of civilians with
Who
the
are
exception...
kind of raising eyebrows as you say, let's bring him with us.
He turns to the other civilians. With the exception of Marina and Solana, he says...
My name is Sena,
Right.
you fucker.
I don't... Say you know what? Say no more, you know what I'm saying? Anyway... Okay. First of all, everybody, if you have places to be, families to go to them. Marina, I think... Could you do us a big favor? I know you just got rescued. Your dad's looking for you. Could you tell him to come and meet us at the auction house, please?
How long's it been since the auction started? She asks.
A while.
You
We're
think he
at
might
the
be
time
there
limit.
anyway?
Oh, well, okay, then. You know what? Come with us, then. That's probably going to be a good reunion.
Say
Fucking... I'm so good with names. Come with us, too. Your dad's... Dad? Brother's
Brother!
waiting there his way. I'm so good at...
As you say, Dad, Sena just bursts out
Got out of
fucking
an alchemical
laughing.
blast. Do you expect us to be on track the whole time?
Genealogy is the least of our concerns, I fear.
Your brother is there. We should go, too. Everybody else, if you have places to go to them. We should move now, yeah?
Yeah.
I have to disagree about bringing our good friend, the Rat King, with us. Carlin sort of side-eyes to Glinquinol.
As you discuss this, the various non-Sena and Marina people say their thanks, say they owe you, and then scatter off to the four winds. Ari looks over this, gives a thumbs up, stares over at Glinquinol, who is still kind of staring at the smoldering remains of his laboratory. Wide-eyed, open-mouthed, silent.
Ari, you don't have anywhere to be. You could likely handle him, right?
Wouldn't that require being in plain sight?
She points to Malifane and nods.
Right.
That's true. And I do not want you to be arrested as well. This is your best bet against, Lion Belly arresting you, after all. And...
Well, as much as I'm loath to take him with us to a public place where there will be many people, many important people, it is either that or one of us splits off, or a few of us split off to escort him to somewhere where he can be taken into custody.
I'm not comfortable leaving this guy too alone, personally. I think we should all be there.
Colonel, Rat King, what would you prefer to be called?
He does not respond.
I think he would prefer if his place wasn't burning down to the ground, but we'll ask. How about we just ask him later?
I was going to ask him if he would, well, maybe not behave himself, but not cause any trouble. But as it seems, looks like the clock is ticking.
Yeah,
actually,
I think we need to go, now.
that actually reminds me, Alex. Does the Rat King look like he's going to pull anything at the moment? Do I have to roll anything to deduce that?
Sure, make an insight check.
All right, baby. You better be doing me a service here.
That's Thabagath's sheet.
Fuck.
I'm going to say it was her Trevlon, though.
Fantastic.
Rat King is not very good at hiding his body language. He's basically gone completely catatonic right now. The fact that you have destroyed or otherwise ruined 2 of his laboratories in the span of a few months, and are a bunch of very heavily armed individuals, means that although you don't have a lot of things that can actually harm him, he is unlikely to try anything like running away. He's basically just, like, given up mentally at this point.
I don't think we necessarily have to worry about how our friend here is going to act. He seems pretty done with it, so to speak.
I've seen this look before. I wholeheartedly agree.
Alright, I'll keep clawing him. Glenquinol, if you start feeling effects of poison, just let me know.
Again, there's no response.
Let's go on then.
Let's do this.
Alright.
Harry too.
Right.
Ari gives a salute, splits off from the group so that she's not seen in public. At the nearest body of water in the slums, because there are plenty, she splits off, dives right in, and is gone from sight. As you head through the slums, back into the official district, and towards the auction house. It is, it's pretty abuzz with activity. All sorts of noblemen are there. Nalur Nulad, obviously, is sitting down at a bench having a chat with Mayor Morkid Lionbelly. Stormkirk is there. Very easily recognizable because he's the only one wearing full plate armor where everyone else is just wearing, regular frickin' clothing. Also, at the auction house are Giovanni Goldtooth, the Grand Aegis of the Guard, and Fergus McKells, the Headman of Faith. Basically, all the nobles that have been negotiated with are here at the auction house just kind of chatting about, along with a bunch of some hand servants, a couple of guards, and Gemcells talking to a bunch of them, trying to get everyone to maintain order. And here's Lord Stormkirk himself, looking grumpy as ever.
There he is.
Shot in the dark here, but I'm guessing we're not here for a good time, a good chat.
Before we go over, Carlene would like to pull aside some of the guards. Actually, never mind. I can wait. We can wait. It'll be
we
more
can totally wait.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's fine. All right. So you walk in. Your presence is pretty quickly known when Sena looks over, sees Nalur, clears her throat. Nalur looks over to see her, waves her over. Sena goes over at a quick jog, gives you a quick wave of thanks as she goes, and the two start conversing in Abyssal, which I don't think any of you speak.
No.
Does his demeanor look any different?
Make an insight check.
Alright. Insight.
Nalur is a very hard man to get a read on, as opposed to the Rat King. He's pretty good at hiding his emotions. Sena in particular seems a little frustrated, like, hello, where were you? I got, changed hands twice. She's holding up 2 fingers, so she's saying something twice, even though you don't speak the language. You've got a pretty good idea. And Nalur seems pretty calm, like the idea that he thinks everything went fine and went as expected.
As expected.
Like, you're not dead. Everything's fine.
Another shot in the dark. This does not seem like your typical relationship between family.
Fergus McKells looks over at the commotion, sees that Sena is back, walks over and says, You didn't happen to be the ones to find her, did you?
That would be us, yes.
Well, much obliged. I'm sure she's quite grateful. She's just a little cold when it comes to show and that sort of thing.
That's fine. She seemed happy enough to get out of there, and it helps that we got, well, one of the culprits. Crowley is still holding on to the Rat King. We just...
Fergus looks over, stares, kind of recoils from the smell, because Rat King does not smell good. And he's like, I see. One of the culprits, did you say?
Well, we presume he wasn't the one to actually do any sort of capturing or abduct. He was just the one holding her. We have no idea who exactly was the one who orchestrated, well, the whole, disappearances and all.
Mm-hmm.
In the back you can hear Giovanni Goldtooth scoff.
Yes, but, we brought him here not only because he was one of the people holding the captives, but also because he is the key to one of our friends going free. See, our good friend here, Krellian sort of smiles with no humor and holds up the Rat King's wrist a little, had a bit of a lab set up under one of our associates' establishments. Our associate has since been, well, taken prisoner. And because the Rat King had gone to Earth, there was no proof of his innocence. Well, here he is, and here's the proof, and that's why I don't want him out of our sight.
Goldtooth goes over, as you mentioned, prisoners and setting people free, looks over at the Rat King. Yeah, that seems to match up with the reports. I'll have a few of my guys watch over him. We'll take him over after the auction's done.
Thank you, Giovanni. It's much obliged. Also, please tell them to be careful. He bites, and his bite is nasty. As in, Curlian leans in. Lycanthropy nasty.
Giovanni's eyes widen a little, but then go back to normal, and he nods. We'll see if we can find the muzzle.
Curlian sort of winces, but lets the guards take him.
Cool. In the meantime, you hear a high-pitched as Marina sees her father, runs over to him, gives him a big old hug, immediately starts chatting him up. In the middle of that, Roderick Redwald looks up, looks over at you, and gives a quick nod of thanks. In the meantime,
Meet her patron.
I suppose it's time to actually go talk to your patron.
Fear.
Oh boy.
My lord
Momo's kinda-
Stormkirk.
Momo hops onto Thav's shoulder and just kind of clings.
Deep breaths, man. Deep breaths.
Well, on the one hand, I should be pleased in that you've managed to make contacts with everyone I suggested, says Stormkirk. On the other hand, you smell like sewer water, salt water, and you're covered in blood. I'm presuming not all of it's your own. What the hell have you been doing here?
Rescuing hostages, mostly. Hostages that were very important to the task at hand, and Carlin looks down at themselves, looks over at the party, and sort of like nudges Trevlon as sort of a, hey, could you maybe prestidigitate some of this away? Maybe soon. Yes.
Trevlon is still on BRB, but I'm just going to assume he does that now that Stormkirk's pointed it out and he is aware of that.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
I see. Well, let's hope it was vital. Because, as you are no doubt aware from context clues, at least I'm going to hope you are, This is our last chance to get the district. And if it doesn't happen, I will not be happy.
Right.
Understood.
Of course, my lord.
Alright. So, Gemcell rings a bell. Everyone snaps to attention, takes seats. Right. So, here we are. It's been over 72 hours. Everyone who has expressed interest in bidding is here. Quick note. Turns out there were apparently some stolen bits and baubles in the Okiti's treasure, so it was null and void. Not that it particularly matters, because Mr. Nalad had put in his counterbid and overbid them anyway. So, current bid sits at 130,000 gold pieces, courtesy of Mr. Nalad. Am I going to be bid any more? Roderick Redwald immediately clears his throat. And if I may ask, Roderick asks, how much exactly is Mr. Stormkirk bidding? Well, currently his bid sits at 105,000. Make it 155, says Roderick, leaning back in his chair. Alright. And, Gemcell notes that down. Nulad immediately says afterwards, 170. And, more gazes head towards him. Everyone starts whispering. Mikkel's clears his throat. If I may, I believe Stormkirk and his associates are going to be able to do something good with what remains of the Lower Monsoon District. I'd like to chip in something as well. Make it 175,000. And
Baby.
then, yeah, the excitement and tension rises. Nulad rolls his eyes. 180,000 gold. And then the auction house goes silent.
Carlene sort of side-eyes Giovanni.
Giovanni looks over. So, about my treasure. Did you find it?
Nah, we found the hostages instead.
And then he just looks forward. What did you do?
Does anyone with nice persuasion want to persuade him in there so nicely?
Are we referring to Goldtooth here?
Yes.
Yes. Travelon looks
wait,
to.
hold on. Didn't the guy, okay. Remind me, whose daughter were we saving?
One who's already
saved
Redwald.
Marina Redwald. Duke
Okay.
Redwald
And
already
and-
gave another 50,000 to the cause.
Okay. Frick.
We saved Sana,
Okay.
though, didn't we?
Yeah?
Trevor, what was your plan?
Well, I have two plans in my head. Not to metagame. The first was either to try and convince Goldtooth that without our help, those hostages may have been killed or worse, therefore you kind of owe us. The second of which would be to try and convince Nalad and say, dude, we found your sister, cut us some gosh darn slack. And I think that convincing Goldtooth would probably be easier. So,
You should also mention that with the stolen bits and baubles being found out from the Okiti's bid, it's more likely now than ever that the source will be tracked down.
yeah,
Anyway.
that's another thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Travelon looks to Goldtooth and says, do you know where we found those hostages, mate?
You said it was with the bitey guy, he says, pointing over to Glenquinol, who is busy being handcuffed to a bench.
We did. What do you expect that this person would have done to those hostages if we left it another?
The
kobold said he wasn't the one who took them, so he was just holding them. I have no idea.
Holding them for his experiments.
You see, my friend here, well, friend is probably the most generous term I'll ever give to him. He was going to do terrible, terrible things to those people, and he was going to do them extremely soon. However, we intervened. If we hadn't made, all of those civilians might be dead or worse. I think, and Trevlon pauses for a moment as he sort of gives Goldtooth a real big look. I think you owe us for that. And not to mention the fact that the Okiti's treasure, that's been found to be stolen. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to have a really easy time of going through it and finding your belongings now that that's been confirmed. And I would also like to roll a persuasion roll to try and boost the chances here.
Okay.
Oh, come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Could he do that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to say cancel out advantage because of the you owe us being more intimidation than persuasion, but whatever.
Fair enough.
He looks over at you, glares, and is about to say something when one of the guards comes over, whispers something in his ear. His eyes widen. He gets up. Put another 5,000 in there. And he heads out of the bidding hall. Gemcell says, excuse me, that just makes it a tie. What am I supposed to... And he's out the door.
What do you think happened?
Issue for another day or another time.
We'll ask him later. So you say it was a tie, right?
Yes.
Thavagath raises a hand. Add another single gold piece.
Thavagath!
As you do this, Mulad looks over. Oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. Whatever! And Gemcell stares. Alright, so, 180,001 gold pieces. Going once, going twice. She slams down a hammer. Sold to Lord Stonekirk and Associates!
Best gold
Mission
piece I ever
complete,
spent.
baby.
One by a technicality.
One by a technicality and by annoying the other guy.
Yes.
Wait,
on.
Phil, were you counting?
No, I said
kind of, but
specifically it was
also-
tied.
It was a tie.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
need
no.
one.
Oh, you're right. I'm bad at math. I'm sorry.
It's
All
okay.
right.
It's all good.
As
But I both counted.
as the various nobles get up and start congratulating each other, I'm going to ask for a perception check.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on. Character sheet. Don't
Work.
do me dirty like this.
Work, please.
Work,
There,
please.
please. You said perception?
Yes.
Okay. Please! Please work! Thank you.
Do it.
Do it now!
Do it now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, everything
Oh.
seems fine. You're just yeah. Everything.
Is there
looks
any way
pretty
we can
good.
land advantage?
Yeah. Maybe
Can we lend
someone
it
else can roll or otherwise advantage.
Sure, Momo, you're busy focused on, oh my god, we finally won this after so many days and so many explosions. Someone else, I will allow one more perception roll.
I'll take it.
Mal.
You kind
Yeah,
god,
I'd say
man.
Mal.
Alright,
There we go.
you look around, kind of concerned about why Giovanni Goldtooth left in a big ol' hurry, and you see the Rat King just jiggling at his handcuffs, trying to slip out of them and get the hell out. He's looking around, twitchy and paranoid, at something. Like, more twitchy and paranoid than usual.
He's been through some shit, so I'm not gonna, give him too much of a condescending voice, but, what exactly are you looking at?
I'm not looking, I'm smelling!
What is it?
And you immediately learn what it is as the windows break and several pots come flying through the windows, shattering into this big old black gas that starts filling the auction hall.
I'm going to need everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
Fuck.
no.
Oh dear.
Oh no! Oh no!
You get a +4 because I am a charismatic lad.
Can I use
Yeah, 26.
the inspiration that I had got like 2 sessions ago?
Yes.
We also
Can I also
Like,
get...
do I click that afterwards or what? How does that work?
You just roll with advantage and then click inspiration to get the dragon icon off of it to say that you don't have it anymore.
Okay.
Cool.
No, didn't even do it.
Not to metagame, but would this be a poison or a disease?
This
Yeah.
is a poison, so Corellian, you're immune. Unfortunately, Momo, unless you want to use your inspiration to reroll, you are affected.
Okay, screw it! Ugh.
Curious. Does okay.
Oh no.
Okay,
That's...
I'm taking the 8.
Oh
Yeah.
Does this seem familiar?
Add +4.
Because I feel like this seems
Or add
familiar.
roll a 4. No, you just get a +4. You
It's
don't
just
have to
straight
roll
up
for it,
+4.
guys.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the descript. This sounds familiar to an incident that was described to you. But first, let's actually describe what's happening. Because, as the gas fills the room, everyone starts coughing, and for Trevlon, Malifane, and Thavagat, that's the worst of it. Momo, it's a lot worse for you. You feel this
no.
stabbing pain in your stomach, like it is basically trying to eat away, or something is eating away at your insides. And as most of you look up, Roderick, Fergus, and Gemcell are all just like collapsed onto the ground, coughing and alternating between yelling out and coughing in pain, holding their chests. There are several other guards who are just like afflicted by this poison, whatever's happening here.
Are there any?
Like, dying, coughing.
Yeah.
Are there any? Wait. what
let me
about the
actually-
civilians? You said they're still coughing.
Yeah, they are still coughing. A lot of them are in pain. Stormkirk is just coughing. Redwald and Mikkel's didn't make the save. Gemcell looks like shit. She rolled a natural 1. And Nalur is also coughing and holding in pain. Sena looks fine. Sena looks like she's, like, fine, not really dealing with any of this. Let me actually pull up the rest of what this disease does. So, Momo, you know what's happening to you.
Am I gonna die?
Maybe.
Maybe. Alright. The coughing and the pain starts to turn into, like, muscle cramps and fever. You take a level of exhaustion and 6 points of necrotic damage, Momo.
Oh no! Oh
Is
dear!
there any place in the hall that is clear of the gas?
Yeah.
It looks pretty filled.
Okay, Corellian is going to basically look at the rest of their party and say, get as many people out right now as you can.
Yes, Captain.
Now!
Let's go, guys.
What do I need to roll to determine how many people Thavagat can carry out at once?
Athletics for ability to carry.
Athletics.
I mean, you're a big guy. Goliaths have double the carrying capacity of most other races. You can scoop up a fair bit at once, like 2 or 3 people, depending, at a time. But,
Alright.
yeah. But yeah, I'm just going to assume Thavagat, being big, strong boy who can carry a lot, leads the charge in carrying people out. Malifane is going with him. Trevlon, you going to assist?
I want to make sure that I get Glenquanol out, because he's chained up to something, right?
Yes, he is. He is currently handcuffed. Let me actually make the save for him, too. Oh, he rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine.
Funny, considering prior events.
Yeah,
I
he's
would like to specify that of the people that I carry, one of them is Momo.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Alright, if that's the case, then Trevlon is going to go for Gemcell first, because she's probably the worst out of all of them. And as he does this, he also chants mass healing words to try and heal as many people as he can.
Cool.
Thank you.
Let me actually double check to make sure how many people Mass Healing Word can target.
CX.
CX. Alright. I'm gonna assume one of them is Momo. Momo, you are healed for 7 points of damage.
Yay!
Gem Cells also healed, but still looking like utter shit. The nobles are looking fine. Marina made the save and is helping her dad get out. Sena rolls her eyes, pulls up Lion Belly and Nalur and is just kind of dragging them out like, come on! Corellian, what are you gonna do?
How secure does Glenquinol look in his handcuffedness?
He has so far not been able to get out of the handcuffs.
Is the bench, like, bolted to the ground or anything?
It is not... It looks like a lot of these benches have been set up temporarily because it was an actual auction that came to the 72 hours past. But he's a pretty scrawny dude, so you don't think he'll be able to pick up the bench.
How long does it look like the smoke, the gas is staying in the air? Does it look like it's dissipating already?
Make a medicine check.
After that, I have a thing I need to, just finish that first.
Cool. This looks like a weaponized gas that's meant to, like, not necessarily linger for a long time. It's a targeted assault. It'll dissipate in a few minutes at most.
This didn't happen to, this isn't the same one that came from those pots earlier, is it?
Make a medicine check.
Oh boy.
No, it doesn't look like the symptoms match up with bilge bules. You've actually heard of this disease, though. It is called rot gut.
Oh! Yay!
Yep.
Fantastic!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, it causes flesh around the internal organs, mostly the stomach, hence the name, to rot and become necrotic. And it can be fatal if not treated really quickly.
Are there any windows?
Yeah, there are a couple of windows.
Right,
I should mention, there were windows. That's what the pots were thrown through, breaking them.
Okay, if there are additional windows, Corellian is going to either try and wrench them open or break them to try and get this to dissipate as quickly as... And then once that is done, they're gonna go outside and slap five charges of lay on hands on Momo to try and cure the disease.
Thank you.
Alright.
I want to identify one of the other vials that I have. One of them has to help some way, right?
Make another medicine check.
Here we go. Fuck!
Nope.
Hey, wait, this one's red. It's gotta be a potion of healing!
Travelon would like to go, did anybody pick any shards of the pottery that was smashed through?
Travelon, you're not going back in there. It's still full of gas. No. It can wait.
Should we try this one?
Is Malifane,
Maliphane's
pointing
holding
to the
up...
red potion?
Yes, he's holding up a red potion.
If you don't know what it does, don't use it.
What
it does, do not use it.
Anyone
Momo, do you have any ability to cure diseases? Do you have, an ability to cast Lesser Restoration or anything like that?
I didn't realize my mic was muted this entire time. I've been very loudly exclaiming that I still have a potion of healing.
Nice.
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 Alright. In that case, Momo, please try and cure as many of the diseases as possible. I don't have many... Probably sort of wrings their claws. I can only heal one more person at least. Corellian is just whoever is closest of the afflicted who failed their save, Corellian's gonna go heal them.
I'm gonna try and go heal as well.
All right.
You healed me, right, Corellian?
I cured your disease.
Yay!
So I rolled randomly to see who would be closest out of the ones I named who are afflicted. It's Nalur Nalad. Do you still want to do it?
That's fine. Fuck it. I'm gonna heal him.
No.
Momo, go to the others. Try and heal them. This one's fine.
All right.
Got it.
You go over, lay on hands, send some divine energy through Nalad, who slowly stops coughing, looks down at you, gives a single nod. Momo, who you going for?
Who are there that I can heal?
There's still Roderick Redwald, Fergus McKells, and Jensel, who looks absolutely terrible.
I'm going for Gemcell.
Cool. Alright. I'm assuming you cast Lesser Restoration?
Yeah!
Alright.
I'm trying to find it!
It's a level
Here
2
it
spell.
is.
Yeah.
Yay!
You touch a creature, chant some healing words, and manage to purge the rot gut from her system. Gemcell pants heavily and immediately falls unconscious.
Can you heal any more, Momo?
I think I can.
Please.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Can I do that?
You can cast Cure Wounds. That doesn't get rid of a disease.
None of them.
Do you have any more castings of Lesser Restoration or higher level?
I think so. Yeah, I do.
Potion of healing don't do that, does it? It just
does
heals
not.
physical.
Also, none of them have fallen unconscious that need to make death saves, right?
You have stopped the rot gut in Gemcell. She's not taking necrotic damage. She doesn't need to make death saves.
Okay.
Alright.
Then ignore that second one.
No, you can still use it on another person. There's still Redwald and McKells.
Yeah.
I'll go for Redwald then.
Cool. You run over. Marina gives you some space, seeing that you're actually managing to heal people, and lets you cure her father, who slowly regains his breath and says, "Looks like I owe you even more now."
Don't worry about that right now. You need to get out of here.
Right. Marina slings an arm under her dad's shoulder, escorts him out, says thank you as the chaos keeps on going.
Considering there's not anything really I can do at the moment, can I figure out where exactly the gas came from?
Sure, make a perception check.
You got it.
Alright. Seeing as it was thrown through the windows, you go for the obvious path and look in the alleyways and streets beside the auction house to see if there was anyone out there. Looks like there was, and they scarpered off pretty quickly. You can see tiny footprints running up to a wall and then disappearing.
Someone's getting away!
We'll go after them!
Yes, Captain!
Alright, how are you going to do that? They stop at the wall.
They stopped at the wall, you said?
Yes.
Oh boy. This is probably gonna be a horrible idea, but I'm just gonna try and leap at them.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Yeah, I don't know what to do right now. That could have been worse.
It could have been worse. You take a mighty leap and try to, hop up the wall to clamber onto the roof and see if you can follow there. It's not happening.
In that case, let's see. What about the hook? Could I try and, latch onto the wall using the hook?
Sure, make another strength check. I'll give you proficiency bonus with it, because you're proficient with the grappling hook.
Alright, so that is plus...
I think it would be plus 3.
Alright. Come on. Oh, okay. Proficiency bonus.
Can I cast
That's not much better.
my last
That's
level
more
2
section.
lesser restoration on the last person?
Absolutely, go for it. Alright.
you run over, and you manage to heal Mikels, the last of the nobles, who is still in a coughing fit, but waves you off after you do so to say he's fine. You take a step back, and notice that there have been several other guards and townspeople that have just collapsed on the ground as actual guards arrive on the scene, start picking people up, taking them off, presumably to some sort of temple or hospital to get healed.
I could use some help over here.
I'm on my way! Momo runs over to where Mal is to try to help.
Alright. Mel is trying very, very hard to climb up onto the roof.
Momo fucking flies! You kidding me?
Someone of his weight? I guess it's not impossible, but...
Yeah.
Can I try and roll for strength to see if I can lift Mal at all? Like, to help?
Sure, make an athletics check.
Athletics Oh
my god! You know, you had advantage, but I'm gonna take it anyway because that was a natural 20. You just like grab Mal in your talons and scoop him up, no problem, and drop him off on the roof.
Way to go, Momo!
I didn't know I could do that!
Alright. You look up, and in the far distance, several rooftops ahead, there looks to be the fleeing form of an Okiti.
After him!
I dash after him, yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna have this be a contest of athletics.
Oh, for God's sake.
You're trying to go fast, man.
So do I at least get proficiency since I have 40 speed?
Sure, why not?
Thank you.
Can I try?
Sure.
Come on, BB.
Momo, you can fucking fly. As the elephant's just trying his best to leap from rooftop to rooftop to catch up, you just fly over there and
Oh, Tails, good job!
and are now flying parallel to the fleeing Okiti.
Should I roll an athletics check too? Because I would. I would think that Trevlon would be following as well.
Sure, make an athletics check to try and get onto the roof.
This will go well. Yeah!
Yeah! Corellian and Davagath, I'm assuming, are just directing the guards around, mentioning what the disease is, saying, you should hurry the fuck up, a lot of these people could be dead in a few minutes.
Yeah, and Corellian's probably dipping back in to try and make sure that nobody got, like, left behind or anything like that.
Hey, who's that guy that's handcuffed to a bench?
Yeah, Corellian's gonna do their best to either get him free, or if that doesn't work, then break the handcuffs, because I'm not leaving him in there.
Alright, sleight of hand to try and unlock the handcuffs first. The handcuffs are a little beyond your ability to unlock just with the basic tools you have, unfortunately.
War pick.
Alright.
Why is everyone rolling so shit today?
Except for Momo!
Except for Momo, yeah!
Momo's taking all the good rolls.
Yeah, in that case, Corellian will just use their war pick to break the handcuffs.
Cool.
And drag Linquinol out, assuming that he hasn't succumbed to disease.
He rolled a natural 20. He's taking it like a champ.
Jesus.
Alright.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
What a sneaky bastard, man.
basically drag him out, keep on him, just, are you alright?
Certainly better than these people, he says, looking over at the collapsed bodies that the guards are still kind of struggling to get up, because there are a lot.
Corellian sort of, like, pauses. I'm sorry I left you in there.
You know, it's not the first time.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna let you burn alive, and I'm not gonna let you choke to death on a rot pet either.
He doesn't seem to have a response to this. But also, you notice that he's not immediately wanting to kill you for having the stench of the old voice on you, so that's a plus.
Yay!
Yay! Meanwhile, Momo, you are now easily keeping pace with the Okiti. You're like right next to him. What do you do?
I want to cast command
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
at level. I can only do it at level 1, I guess.
Only level
No,
1.
level 3. Only
Level
1?
3 only targets additional creatures. It doesn't make it stronger.
Right. All right. Then cast command, and I'm going to yell stop
Cool.
to make him halt in his tracks.
If this doesn't work, I have an idea.
What's the DC?
DC is Hold on. Sorry. 15.
Alright, he did not make that. You enchant your words with divine energy and yell stop, and the Okiti immediately stops in his tracks.
Nice.
I bound on top of him and try to restrain him until you and Trevlon can make it.
Cool. Make a strength check to try and grapple him. With advantage, I'll say with advantage because you did tell him to stop.
Yay! Strength check or
Yes.
strength saving?
Strength check.
Check. Okay.
Do it. Yeah.
Alright, well, I had that dice thing of, it looks like it's gonna roll really high, and then, boop, it turns over one more side and you roll a 3. So,
Nice.
you tackle the Okiti to the ground and manage to pin him as he struggles under you. I'm going to say, because Malifane is so freaking fast and he's dashing, he will be able to get over before the Okiti gets another chance to break free.
Do you have any rope? Tie him up!
Yes, you got it.
Alright.
Do I need to do anything for that, or...?
Because he is being held down and there's two of you against his pretty pitiful strength, you tie the Okiti up no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna tie this as tight as I can because, I'm not gonna let this guy do any further harm.
Alright. The Okiti is tied up, and eventually, the chaos in the street quiets down very slightly, as the guards carry over what people they can, and morticians come to get the rest.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Wait, they failed the... Oh...
A lot of those people were commoners. They did not have very good health.
Oh no!
I would presume at this point Trevlon's caught up, right?
Eventually, Trevlon manages to climb up onto the roof and catch up.
Have I used the Persuader's power yet today? I can't remember.
I don't think today.
Cracking. Trevlon gets out his hand crossbow, clicks to as if to say, "Hey, I'm about to fire this at you," invoking its magical power. Gets to the Okiti and immediately says, "All right, pal, where do you think you're going?" And he aims it directly at his face and rolls it. And also,
Does he look familiar? Does the Okiti look familiar?
Yes,
Do we
good
know
point,
him?
good point.
No.
Ah.
There.
Counts. All right.
I would like to roll intimidation with advantage.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
A lot of 17s today.
It's the day of 17s. The Okiti looks up at the Persuader and says, "Well, obviously nowhere right now."
Okay, listen, mate, you've just killed a lot of people, so I'm gonna just give you one other chance to tell me where you were intending on going. So,
alright. The Okiti says, "Back to the ship."
do you think it'll still be in the bay by the time we get there?
Oh, it's long gone.
And where would it be heading?
You know, as bad as that crossbow is, there are some things I'm way more scared of than that, so you'll have to forgive me if I decide not to answer that particular question.
Alright, Trevlon casts Zone of Truth.
Oh!
All right.
Twice for posterity.
I didn't
Double
need to
Double
cast
zone of
twice.
truth. Yeah, he failed the save.
I guess the rest of us have to.
If you
decide
cast it
whether-
twice, does it cancel out and he only tells liars? So you have
Phil,
to
I will attack you if you continue with this line of thought.
It's knights and
Do
knaves
it.
with the Okiti.
I have nothing to hide, so I'm going to intentionally fail my save.
All
Me
right.
too.
Cool.
Trevlon asks again, where was the boat headed?
The boat was heading out of the bay.
Alright. Where is the boat intended on land?
Not in the bay.
Where exactly in relation to us right now is not in the bay? Direction.
I would assume somewhere towards the ocean.
I meant on a compass. North, south, east.
It wouldn't be landing on a compass. What are you talking about? A compass is tiny. Boats are really big.
I fucking hate Okiti.
Mel slaps him.
Okay, you don't need to slap him necessarily.
Innocent
He's just-
lives, Trevlon.
Yes, I know, but at the same time, it's not going to make this guy talk more.
Mama kind of
Anything,
like
it'll
pulls
make-
him back. Where does the boat intend to dock?
At a dock.
What is the name of the place it's docking at?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. You know what? Let me roll to see if he's getting bored of this and we'll give you an actual name.
He failed the saving
Wait,
throw.
Natural one!
He's bored.
I mean, I heard
Ask him what scares him the most.
I heard a boat was going to Rosewater Stream.
Does Trevlon know where that is in relation to Port Mirandu?
Make a history check.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that with advantage, sorry.
18 still more than enough. Rosewater Stream is in the slums of Port Mirandu. It's pretty infamous because that is basically where the slums started becoming the slums. All the fancy stuff made way to crime, to drugs, to all sorts of nasty business. It's basically where the most Okiti gather. That being said, you don't think a ship as big as the Black Lightning would be able to actually sail in Rosewater Stream.
He said a boat. That doesn't necessarily mean the boat that we were referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Alright, that was a good try. I like your spirit. Where is the Black Lightning intending on docking? Give me a name.
Alright, so that's two separate questions. You want me to address them one by one, or...?
Answer the questions!
Second question, that seems more pertinent.
Alright, okay, my name is Nimbet Magvor, thank you for asking. God.
Okay,
Back to the beat.
alright. Okay. Alright, I'm getting bored of this too, mate. Must admit.
Can we assume that Thavagath and Corellian have caught up?
Oh, I'm staying with the civilians and trying to get everything sorted with the poison gas since I'm immune to it. Avagath, go on ahead. I'm sticking
true.
back here with Glenquinol in my claws, mind you.
Probably best not to leave you alone then. Fuck, okay, never mind.
Alright. We're continuing adventures trying to interrogate this fucking Okiti.
I'm having so much fun.
Is it the same one? Holy shit.
No, the first one you interrogated was Kikikati Slaminata. This is Nemagvor.
Jesus.
So, mate, let me try this one. Maybe you'll answer this one the way I want you to answer it. Where does the Black Lightning intend to dock geographically? What is the geographical location of where the Black Lightning is going to dock next?
Irion.
I want to slap him again. Let me
You
slap him
slap
again.
him again.
I want to slap him a third time.
Don't slap him a third time. Okay. Alex, can I make an intelligence roll to figure out a way to get this motherfucker?
Sure, make an insight check.
All right.
Okiti delight in word games and outsmarting anyone they're in conversation with. You are playing right into his tiny rat paws.
Are you the only person who can... Okay, no, that's not going to make him talk more. It's not fun to hurt somebody, to make somebody talk if they're screaming too much.
A slap is not a question.
It's not. Okay.
All right. Let me ask a different question. What is your favorite bodily organ?
Malafane.
God!
I'm particularly fond of the pancreas, actually. I mean, it has so many uses that people just don't seem to know about.
I want to kick him in the pancreas.
Do you know where the pancreas is?
Do I?
Roll a medicine check, baby.
Roll a medicine check.
Nope.
What's a pancreas?
Somewhere in the
Kick
jaw?
him right in the head.
You just kick him in the head instead.
Wrong answer. I have no idea what a pancreas is.
that much I can think about. Trevlon sort of pinches the bridge of his nose and looks to Okiti.
Yes?
Sorry for the being just talking about something. Sorry. Let me say what I was going to say again. Trevlon pinches the bridge of his nose and sighs and looks at Okiti and goes, "Look, mate. I appreciate that you're having a lot of fun with us, but understand there isn't exactly a way you can get out of this. We'd be able to let you maybe get you into a position where you're more comfortable, less on the ground, if you just tell us, stop beating around the bush, and tell us what we want to know. Properly, I mean. I'd like to roll persuasion with advantage, please."
You don't get advantage. It's been more than a minute. It's been more than a minute.
Oh. All right, fair enough. I'll accept that.
All right. The Okiti laughs. More comfortable. That is the best you can offer. You said it yourself, you stupid man. There are a blot of, what did you call them? Innocent lives down there? The innocent lives of people who make it their business to destroy our homes, run us out, and exterminate us whenever they can? You think they are concerned with making me comfortable? You kill me, they kill me. Either way, it's not going to end well. Might as well have some fun before I kick the bucket.
What are you afraid of?
Well, that's actually a very good question. What are you most afraid of?
Bears are really spooky.
I can relate.
Would you be upset if we presented you?
Can I do a really mean thing? I want to roll thaumaturgy to imitate the sound of a bear's roar.
Can thaumaturgy do that? Click on it and we'll see. Because I know, like, minor illusion can, and prestidigitation probably can. I'm not sure if thaumaturgy can.
Fallen Empires, the session where everyone is being really rude for some reason.
Speak
Also,
for
bear
yourself.
in mind, he just
am.
said he finds bears spooky, not that that's what scares him the most.
Well, no, this is...
No. It was a direct response to what scares him the most. He has been directly responding in ways that are technically true.
Oh.
Yeah.
To make this go faster, one of the effects of thaumaturgy, you create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as the rumble of thunder.
Okay, yeah, I can imitate a bear roar. Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Momo casts thaumaturgy to imitate a roar. The Okiti goes, "Ah! City bears! The worst kind of bear!"
Yeah, it's less of a city bear and more of a bear that we have access to.
Difference.
I appreciate... Yeah, I appreciate that you expect that you're gonna die. But think about it this way. You can die in a pleasant way with less pain, or we can let a bear eat you. So I think you would prefer the former option. So let me ask the same question I've been asking over and over again. Where exactly is the Black Lightning landing name-wise?
Make a deception check.
Oh, baby.
That was deception.
Because you don't have a bear.
I was saying that we have a bear.
Oh, that's true.
He rolled a fucking 2! The Okiti looks over, looks at you dead in the eye. You see a flash of honesty in him, and he says, I don't know.
How not?
But you didn't tell me that part.
Do you know who would? Who is still in Iriel?
Well, I mean, probably Captain Vincent, but obviously he'd be on the ship, so I don't think that's very helpful.
Does anybody in Port Mirandu know where the boat is going?
That seems a little out of the range of things I would know. Best I can give you is a probably.
Do you have any guesses on who?
I do not.
I think this is the most we're gonna get out of him then.
Well, I would like to say that you've been useful, but,
Please don't insult me.
Good night, and Trevlon would like to knock the sky unconscious.
Okay. Donk.
I still really want to know where his pancreas is.
Well, you can find out in, like, one of your anthropological textbooks when we get home. Right now, we have some culprits we desperately want to put in prison, so, let's see if we can get that sorted.
As they walk, he says, for the record, I'm an anthropologist, not a biologist.
I mean, anthropology is about, well, I would assume it includes a bit of biology, surely.
I studied in the healing field for a minute.
Do you...
I could show you.
I studied culture.
Not now, of course, it's not important.
As you head back to the ground level and argue about pancreases, you meet back up with Thavagath and Corellian.
I'd like to say at this point, Thavagath looks really scared at the prospect of hearing a city bear not too far away.
Marvelous.
Goddamn. I love this.
What, you don't wrestle bears in your spare time, Thavagath?
Not city bears. You don't fuck with city bears.
Oh, he just rolls their eyes.
Thavagath, get inspiration.
Yay! Oh, this is fantastic.
Okay, so how far have we got with helping civilians in said time?
By now, I would say that the area is clear. The gas is long since dissipated. Around this point, some guards come over, make sure everything's hunky-dory, and go over to grab Glinquinol, handcuff him again, and take him away.
Wait.
Yeah.
Trevlon, sort of, before they leave, tries to get in front of them to try and ask Glinquinol one more.
Glinquinol stares at you. There's like a mix of disgust and anger in his eyes.
Did you deal directly with the Okiti when you were, doing...
Every single time we've met up, you've destroyed my work or belittled it. Why should I give you anything now?
Trevlon, well, I'd firstly like to roll persuasion. I respect that I should probably give him space, but Trevlon is just too wants to know very badly where they are.
Persuasion
Carly
with
will actually
disadvantage.
step in and try and block Trevlon from Glinquinol at this point. Just give it a rest, Trevlon. It's not worth it.
No, mate, he might be he might know where the bloody rat men are. I need to know.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Mate, if we find out where the Okiti are now, we can get them now. I'm not gonna yell at him or anything like that. I just want to talk.
Corellian, let him ask this one thing, then we'll go, okay? Doesn't work, it doesn't work, we go. Sound good?
Corellian, half steps to the side, but stays generally in between Trevlon and Glinquinol.
Trevlon looks at Glinquinol, sighs, and says, I know you don't think that us granting you your life twice now seems to be much to you, but I think in the future you'll realize that.
What use
We
is my
tried to help
life in a
you.
world that's going to end? You think you've saved me? You've doomed me. You've doomed everyone you know and love!
Well, think about it this way then. Short term. A lot of people have just been doomed. You could be the person who helps us get some justice. Please. Trevlon would like to roll persuasion if.
With disadvantage.
And yeah, I totally get that.
He looks at you again and is like, I was trying to help, and every time I try, who's behind, ruining my efforts, blowing them all up? Oh, wait a second. He's 3 feet tall, stinks, looks like he doesn't sleep, and is standing right in front of me. And the guards yank him away.
That's enough.
Trevlon calls out behind him and says, I'm sorry you don't trust us, mate. I still hope that one day you will.
I
No.
highly doubt it at this point. I hate to put a damper on things, but...
Avagath shouts behind him. Actually, he's 3'2". Motherfucker.
You know, I feel conflicted. I don't know what to make of this guy. I get where he's coming from, but...
Well, he's a crazy, stinky bastard, man. There's very little you can do with these kinds of people. If he's onto something, then he's onto something, but there's no way in hell someone of that mindset is doing anything good.
And even if he was doing something good, I don't think anything that he was doing was worth the price. Anyway, we have a job to do, don't we? We need to, we really need to try and find these Okiti before things get worse.
Why? Let them skip town.
Because if they skip...
They skip town, then they do something else, but then that's a future problem. Honestly, I think if we try to follow these sneaky bastard men, we're just going to be running in circles. I think we've lost them for now.
For now, it's best if we just take some time to rest and recuperate.
Take the small victory. We did what we came here to do. We saved some people. It's a small thing.
Not to be, a bit miffed, Thav, but a lot of people that, live where I grew up and was, born into just died because of a bunch of them. Forgive me if I'm not going to just let sleeping dogs lie here easily.
And what are we supposed to do? We literally bought their home out from underneath them, and you still... Later. That being said, we did just buy part of their home out from underneath them.
That's a good...
How are we supposed to reconcile that fact with them?
At this point, Trevlon is just got his eyebrow raised because that little end comment just caught his attention real bad. So he's just looking. He's just he's not responding. He's just looking quizzical and kind of agitated.
Tavagath gets down on a single knee, looks at Trevlon, puts a hand on his shoulder. Okay. Think of it like a reporter then. Name a single lead you have right now. Name a single viable lead that we have that we could follow these people. Because as far as I see it, we have nothing. If we go out trying to do something, all we're going to do is waste our time, annoy anyone around us, probably cause more trouble, trying to find people that have already vanished. They will pop up again, as we found Glinquinol again. We will find these people. We will find the Ratmen. We will. But right now, celebrate the small victory.
I think we all need to rest a bit.
Agreed. It's been a long day.
Thav, Firstly, I bloody hate it when you talk sense. It makes me feel all bad.
I know, I feel weird.
And secondly, understand, if I find their crew again, I'm going to do anything in my power to try and find them. If they pop up again, I'm not letting go this next time. They captured my sister, and they hurt the people I want to try and help. So,
Agath extends extends a hand. Says, "I'll be right there with you."
Thanks, mate.
Speaking of
As
Trevlon, you should go find your sister and, make sure she's okay, maybe?
Trevlon sort of looks a little bit aimless, doesn't really look at anything, and sighs and says, I need to speak to Lionbelly first. I've got the evidence I needed to let both of my fiery grog companions from their cells, and from being on wanted posters. I need to sort that out. I'll go to the Fiery Grog Tavern after.
I'll come with you if you like.
I think I need some time alone. I appreciate it, though.
Of course.
Take as much time as you need, Trevlon.
Good luck, Trevlon. I'm gonna dip back in and try to gather any shards of the pots that were broken.
Yeah.
See if we could maybe get any more information from them.
Cool.
Yeah. As you know what, Mal is going to do the same, and as he does, he's gonna just speak up. It's like, it occurs to me, but there were 3 of those posters, weren't there? We saw one of Ari and Glenn.
Right.
But have we seen the 3rd one?
Hooded lady? I mean, I don't believe so, but also, Carlian sort of before they walk in, sort of Pete holds up a claw and goes in to make sure that the disease is dissipated.
By now, the gas is long gone.
Alright. Then they nod and sort of wave Malafane in. Nope, can say that. I don't believe I've seen her, no.
Tavagath very audibly gasps as he suddenly remembers. Wait, there was a wanted poster for Glinquinol, wasn't there?
That's
Yeah.
right.
What was the reward?
Didn't actually read between the lines, but we are the ones who turned him over, and Giovanni knows that.
Does the reward really matter? I feel like
Yes.
just bringing
Kind
him
of,
in.
actually.
Kinda does matter.
Yeah,
We put a lot of work into this.
I really need the money.
I mean, I suppose.
Come on, we already did the thing. We didn't do it motivated by money, but now that money's on the table after the fact, you can stand to be a little greedy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I suppose.
There it is. Come on, let's go.
All right.
And he says this jokingly to him, but he's like, you're a dick, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So.
Alright, Carlian will continue to gather shards then.
Alright. Corellian is going to spend the day gathering, not the day, but rather the time before heading back to the tavern, gathering up the shards, while Thavagath, Malafane, and I think Momo are heading over to the jail? Or rather the citizens' jail, where the wanted posters were anyway. Okay. I'm gonna actually go with them before we go over to Trevlon and Lionbelly, because that's gonna be fun, and we need a little bit of a lighter scene before that.
Sounds peachy, my dude.
Alright.
Cool. So, at the citizens' jail, there are a lot of people. It's also awash with activity, kind of like the guild hall was before it got, bombed and diseased. A couple people run out of the prison crying. Others are just kind of sitting against the wall on chairs, looking down, just kind of staring at their legs. Same half-orc woman from before, who has been there all this time, is manning the customer service desk.
Is there a picture of the is there a wanted poster of Glinquinol in the room?
Yes. The wanted posters are still posted up. It is still a bunch of miscellaneous people you don't recognize, but also the posters of Ari, Glenquinol, and Ecthro Estrain, the hooded woman.
Alright, Thavagath walks over to the wanted posters and takes down the Glenquinol one, walks over to the half-orc one. Hello.
Oh.
Hi, how's your hand?
Good enough to punch you if need be.
Fantastic. We've just handed in this individual. You can confirm with your boss that it was us.
Yeah, I heard. It's, she gestures over to the mess of people. It's kind of spread this way.
Yeah, fun. So what do we do to go about getting this, and he stares at the paper. How much is the reward?
It is 70 gold.
70. There's some. What do we do to go about getting this sizable sum?
Just leave an address. Should be delivered to you by tomorrow morning.
Oh, sounds good. And he leaves the Fiery Rock Tavern and our room number.
Cool. She writes that down. Some of the boys will get it to you pretty soon.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
That's a bit late for that.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, bye-bye now.
Regarding, I'm sure we shouldn't have put our address for Batman's instead, considering the stuff that's been going down lately.
I mean, she said it'd be here by tomorrow.
Soon.
Yeah, she said they would be delivered by tomorrow. We're not going to be in Batman's tomorrow. You know.
I don't know.
Plus, for a 70 gold reward, why make someone go all the way over there when we're right here? We're not leaving till later on.
Crazy, but just considering our long line of history, it seems like whenever something big happens in a city or town, we usually need to leave ASAP.
Except this time it's not your fault.
Exactly. We did something good. It's fine.
Who said that?
Thank you, God.
I was gonna say, who said that?
A voice in Thavagath head.
Holding. Is that you? No,
Get me scans.
I will get scans.
You talking to?
Shut up, Malafine. It's scans. Okay, so yeah, we walk out kind of pleased with ourselves, avoiding almost everyone else, because everyone seems to be in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
And we head to
Can
Fire
Momo
Rock, I
still
guess.
be on Thav's shoulder?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Mal still flashes Momo a smile for earlier, just the whole thing.
Alright.
Momo's so, pleased with himself. He didn't know he could do that, and he just kind of, looks at Mal and smiles and kind of bounces on Thav's shoulder.
Cool. In the meantime, Chevlon, you head over to Mayor Lionbelly's estate alone, and you get some raised eyebrows from the gate man when you get there. But eventually he does open the gate to let you in.
Thanks, mate.
Alright.
Trevlon just walks in. He's not in the mood to be petty. He's too tired.
You head inside to Mayor Lionbelly's dining room. There are several servants in there, along with the mayor himself. They're busy kind of waiting on him hand and foot, offering up all sorts of potions, fancy fruits and wines and stuff. And he notices you come in. Well, I can assume you're not here to make a condolence offering, so what exactly do you want, Mr. Bluequill?
As a matter of fact, I was going to make sure that you were okay, Mindbelly.
You don't have to lie to me, Mr. Bluequill.
Thing about lying is I'm not particularly good at it. I know that we haven't particularly seen eye to eye, but I don't think anybody deserves to have rot gut in them. At all. You included.
Fair enough.
But I was here for another reason, I will give you that. So, firstly, we managed to get that bit of land for Stormkirk. He'll be very happy with you, I'm sure about that.
Oh, exceptionally.
I will make sure to remind him that you did do your part, for certain. The second thing. So, do you remember a while back about how I was concerned that the wrong people may have been, arrested or were looking to be arrested about the incident in the Fiery Grog Tavern?
You made yourself perfectly clear, and yet I think it's only recently you seem to have changed your mind and come around to my offer.
Well, the thing is, I also made an offer myself, and that was if I could find someone, the real culprit, who made the tunnel, you would consider that those who are currently under arrest are actually innocent, and, well, today I may have killed two birds with one stone, because I found him.
Indeed you did. I do seem to remember that man at the auction hall, and I also seem to recall the Grand Aegis of the Guard also seeing him.
You did.
Now, if you're saying I could just proclaim someone innocent, well, that sounds like corruption to me. I can't exactly do that. But I can, of course, offer my opinion as to the matter and let the Grand Aegis decide what to do from there. At my earliest convenience, of course. As you can see, I'm rather busy right now.
How long do you think it'll be for the folks who used to run the Fiery Grog to be, well, for their status to change?
Mr. Bluequill, I just got afflicted with rotgut. You can't rush recovery.
Does he look particularly hurt?
Make a medicine check.
Ugh.
Hard to tell, given that there's so many people around him treating anything that might look like a wound or an inconvenience.
Alright, different question then. Does he look smug?
It's Mayor motherfucking Lionbelly, Trevlon!
I'll take that as a yes. On that note, Trevlon sort of raises an eyebrow and looks a little bit cross at this, but holds his horses in size and says, as long as you can promise me that you'll put in a word and at the very least consider that things aren't as they seem, and that Mr. Glenquinol did in fact put that tunnel in the Fiery Grog, then I can wait, I suppose.
Well, if you're so sure that this Glenquinol is indeed the man behind the tunnel and behind the kidnappings, it should be a rather open and shut case. I don't think you have anything to worry about, Mr. Bluequill.
I hope not. Again, thank you for your time. I'm glad to see that you're not, well, in dire straits at least. And hopefully things will go good for both of us in what we want.
Oh, I'm sure they will for me. I can't speak for you necessarily, but let's hope for the best.
Good evening, Mayor Linebelly.
Good
and
evening.
Trevlon tips his hat and dejectedly walks out.
Alright. You head out, the gateman slams the gate shut behind you, and you return to the Fiery Grog Tavern. By this time, everyone has gotten back to the Fiery Grog. Corellian has a bunch of pot shards and other pieces of evidence in hand to try and examine them for any traces of the disease. And a round of drinks has been ordered, because it's been a long day.
Is
Mama's
there...
chugging, like victory.
Is there another halfling that Trevlon recognizes?
You look over. Actually, Trevlon, as you entered, you noticed that Guglug was not at his usual post. In fact, he's at a table in the back, chatting up Vavira Bluequill.
Yay!
Trevlon walks over, smiling, for the first time in a little bit and politely coughs to get their attention.
Viviro looks over. Trevlon, oh my god! I heard you were back in town, but obviously, I mean, that didn't really go so well, us meeting. She laughs very nervously.
I know. To be honest, I would have wished that, you didn't get kidnapped, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's not really a thing anyone wishes for, to get kidnapped. I mean, I guess some people would if they're into that sort of thing. I'm not. Is the thing, though.
I don't think anybody is.
I mean, you never know.
I hope not. That's true. Trevlon sort of extends his arms for a hug if she wishes.
Viviro gladly gives you a hug back.
Oh my goodness, it's good to see you.
My heart.
Yes, it's good to see you, finally, again. Yes.
I'm so glad that the Okiti managed to release it. They didn't hurt you, right? Nothing like that?
No, worst they did was leave us alone for several hours at a time. In fact, I think they just decided we were free to go, and then they would hand off the rest of us to some guy they called the Rat King. I didn't think the Okiti had a king. I thought they were more like democratic or something like that.
Trust me, it's more complicated than that.
Yeah, I mean, government's not really where I excel in studies, so...
Yeah. And Trevlon chuckles slightly awkwardly about the fact that she could have been used for an experiment. He immediately sort of like snaps to attention and realizes that he had something to say to Viviro when they met, and expresses this. Before I forget, a little bird told me that you were having trouble in the academy recently. Something was on your mind. I am all ears if you wish to talk about that.
Yeah, they keep having us read these books, some sort of theology stuff. Theology isn't where I'm studying. I thought that was, sisters' area of expertise. But every time I read them, it's like none of the gods in these books I recognize, and then like sometimes when I go to sleep, I get this flash of like 2 sunken cities. I mean, I thought there was only the one, at the bottom of Lake Io, but apparently there's this other one off the eastern coast of the City of Shimmering Lights, and I'm like, that doesn't match up with geography at all. And it's like, is everything I'm studying a lie? Are they just pranking me? I don't know.
By the way, as soon as she said stuff about dreams, he immediately starts writing this down.
Can you turn off report mode for like 5 minutes, please? Thank you.
Oh crap! Sorry. It's just when you said something about a sunken city. You're not the only person in the family who's been interested about that.
Really?
There's been. Yeah, Shayla's been interested in a similar sort of thing, a sunken city. You said it was off the coast of the City of Shimmering Lights?
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense. A lot of their city is underground, so I mean, technically it would be a sunken city, but like, no, I think I just knew instinctively in the dream that it was not the City of Shimmering Lights itself, just off the coast there towards open ocean. Not quite sure how far. Probably and hopefully not too far, because, open ocean's pretty scary.
Okay. Well, that's a troubling dream.
Yeah.
But, this is the thing. You're not the only person who's been having weird dreams like that.
You mentioned, yes.
And, what books were you reading, exactly?
Like I said, a bunch of books on, like, theology, the nature of the astral plane, something like that. A couple of them had notes from some Arakocra professor or whatever from long ago.
What were their name?
She's trying to remember. I think Geisel or something like that?
Does no one recognize his name?
You recognize the name Geisel immediately, you just never heard he was an Arakocra before.
That's new information. Well, fun fact, Shayla was also interested in a fella called Geisel.
Oh my god,
coincidence.
that's a hell of a coincidence, yeah.
You got a specific book that you can mention, that you can tell me about?
She mentions the name of the book, which I will come up with later, because that would involve opening up a table of books that I don't have yet, hey!
Hey!
But if you're looking through the complete works of Geisel, it's probably going to be in there because he contributed and all that.
Well, actually, Alex, I think. Did Trevlon know that Geisel wrote not just children's books? That he wrote theologist and religious texts.
I think you learned it when you were researching him back at Baton Rance Hall, and I'm not sure if you ordered the complete series of works with him in it. I know you ordered a set of books.
I ordered a set of books by another children's author, but yeah, I'm going to make a point of doing that the next time I get paid, because that's important. All right, Trevlon finishes writing this down and says and looks up to Vivira and says, "Okay, well, okay, this is good information. You know, I've got a place now. I know I basically used to live at the Journalists Guild. I actually live in a home now. So if you want to send me any messages or anything like that, send it to Baton Rance Hall. Okay?
I'll definitely be sure to keep that in mind.
Right. Cool. I didn't mean to interrupt you two, by the way. You may continue." And as Trevlon backs away, he gives a look. He gives a look to the doorman, and as if to say, "Don't mess this up now. You better not do anything bad, or I'll kill you."
Guglug gives you a thanks, even though he flinches a little bit at the "I'll kill you" look as you head back to the rest of your group.
Mal has just been looking. I mean, he hasn't been hearing this. He's just been looking at this back and forth. And yeah, as Trevlon sits down, he just says to him, "Nice girl. She seems nice."
"Oh, she is very good at talking, possibly better than me, and that scares me."
Is the rest of your family like that?
You have no idea.
That's
difficult to say.
That's the Blue Quill method of speech I'm going for.
Does the Blue Quill method of speech also include sounding almost exactly like Jontron for a solid 10 seconds?
I don't like them! Goblins! They're coming at me! Oh, here come the goblins!
Yeah.
Perfect. Trevlon. Yeah.
Momo is kind of putting his hand on his head. Did she say that Geisel was an Aarakocra?
She did. That is not something I knew previously.
Wonder what else she knows. Actually, wonder if he still has that one book from Groovon. Maybe it has an author's note.
Well, if you you are your own person. If you wish to chat to my sister, I'm not going to stop you, mate.
I mean, I'm not going to speak unless I have proper introductions, my friend.
You can make. Are you basically making sure that I am there so that you know the full scale and that she can basically rattle off all the terrible and embarrassing things that happened as we were children? No, don't please. No.
Did someone mention embarrassing baby stories about Chevlon?
How about we never do this?
Oh, you know something.
Well, let me tell you about the time when he was 7 and...
Trevlon, presumably there are mugs of ale about the place.
Yes.
Trevlon just picks one up and starts drinking it.
Surprise.
He now does walk up, though, and... Vivira, was it?
Yes, are you a friend of Trevlon's?
Yes, Malafane Lythos.
So it's a pleasure to meet you.
So, if you don't mind me asking, your pal Guglug spoke to me about a book that you two were reading, from a Groovon Whitehand.
Yeah, it's a solid frickin' brick of a book, just completely, incomprehensible nearly is what it is.
That big, huh?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily big in size, but it's dense. It's not easy reading.
What's the curriculum for a class like that?
Alchemy. Advanced alchemy, honestly, because a lot of what Mr. Whitehand does is advanced research and the like.
Mel gets the sudden sense of deja vu. It's just didn't Annabelle have the same... Didn't we have the same conversation with Annabelle? something similar to this?
I think you did, yes.
Well, anyways, you don't happen to know if this book had like a foreword or an opening from the author himself, did you?
I think it did. We usually skip over those parts because they're not part of the curriculum.
Would you happen to have the book on you right now?
I mean, I'd really like to keep that book so I can actually use it in my studies.
Understandable. Would you... Where was the academy you said that you got this at?
It's Penmia Academy. It's here in town.
I'll have to take a look at that then. Thank you very much, Favira.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely.
And he walks back over.
Cool.
Well, looks like might have to take a pit stop at the academy next chance we get. But that's for another time.
Fair enough.
All right. Anything else you want to do here?
Information.
Well, Trevlon, I think now that that whole affair has been sort of like the whole Okiti doing terrible things and the real estate thing has ended, would like to write a piece.
Cool.
So he's going to use his choreographer's tools to write a piece for the Journalism Guild about the wars of the auction house and how drastic things get, basically.
Cool.
As the rich fight for profit.
All right. I'm going to say do it with advantage because it's a first-hand account and it's something you care a lot about.
Yeah, baby. Well, this is already going good, so let's see if we can get better.
Nice.
22! Yeah. This is something you feel very passionately about, Chevlon, but you managed to write it in such a way that it puts enough of your personality into your writing without making it a very obvious bias in the writing. It's a pretty good piece.
Nice. Well, hopefully...
Mind if I get a read of that?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Proofreading's always nice. It's one thing I'm not very good at, actually. I just write a piece and then it's like, yeah, it's perfect, it's done. Nothing else needs to happen to it. And then usually my boss goes, hey, you screwed up everything.
Well, you know what, your boss is wrong and he's a meathead.
Wow, that was the most
This song has
amazing
two
thing
eyes
I've
in
ever
it.
told.
Alright, let's take a look-see here. This is really good.
As Momo is reading, Trevlon occasionally looks at Corellian sort of like a little quizzically, as if he's still trying to figure out what the heck he meant when he was trailing off.
Tilts their head, but instead of spending the night in the room that we all rented, Corellian's probably going to go out back to sort of the stable area and spend the night with Mossa instead.
Nice.
Evergath is also going to go to the stable area and spend time with Ox Friend and Chicken Friend.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
Yes.
How could you possibly forget about
I
Ox and
don't
Chicken?
know.
Ox is still tied up in the stable. Chicken... Ain't no rope can keep Chicken down. Chicken's just hopping from place to place occasionally, pecking Ox on the head.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, he is. Does Ox seem
He's
to mind?
eating the fleas.
Ox does not care in the slightest.
Mama wants
Good
to meet
ox.
these friends. Evelyn, this is really good.
It's
Like-
one of my better works, I think.
I think it's one of your best. I know I always say that, but I really mean it this time.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
fuck.
Trevlon's-
You mean it every other time?
Oh no, the truth has been revealed.
You know what? I don't really care for this attitude you're giving me.
Wow, Trevlon, this is really good. Especially because every other piece you've written has been shit.
Yeah.
Oof, ouch. My journalistic integrity.
No, that's not true. There was that one time.
One. You can count one
There's
time I...
There.
Ah, jeez.
I think right now we'll be quiet and appreciate.
Of
What
all the
were you
books
gonna
I've
say?
written, you
Yeah,
are
that's
easily in the
fair.
top 5.
Well, you know what? Wait. That could mean a lot of things.
I'm going to say red.
I'm gonna assume you said
yeah.
read rather than written.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Out of the 5 books that I've read, yours is in the top 5.
I really hope it's not 5.
You've been reading, huh?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's for
That
nerds.
is. No, I will say this. You have been into your reading recently. What? Why? Why? I respect that you might have just gotten a new interest into a new subject, but not to be rude, this isn't your thing usually. What's
Alex,
up there?
quickly remind me, because I've got to make note of it. Am I aware that I have a curse that compels me to read once a week, otherwise I die? Or...
Yes.
You are.
Okay, so I'm fully aware that it's part of a curse and I will die if I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. You remember that sword I took and we were attacked by the angry thing?
Oh yeah.
You mean the
I
Revenant?
remember.
Yeah, the Rev. And kind of put a curse on me, required me to read. Otherwise I'd die. All I needed to do was read.
And
Wow,
how long
you.
has it been since you've read it?
Yeah.
I think this is my last week. I only need one more book in the next 5 days, I think. Yeah.
9.
What?
Weeks are a 10-day in
9 weeks.
Irion, so...
Oh, sorry.
That's a lot of books for you to have.
Yeah.
One per week.
Do you think that once the curse has ended, you'll continue this venture?
I don't know. I read some fun stories. Guess if there are any more fun stories, I might give it a shot. But
God knows there's a lot of literature in the library at the moment. So if you feel keen, be sure to pay the visit.
you know, I was until you called it literature, and now I have no interest.
I've killed a man's interest in a subject, and I feel bad.
Well, come on, don't be selfish. Let's see the books you've been reading.
Sure. I had one from... No, sorry,
Curious.
2 from Trevlon. One from that lady Traveler, read that overnight. Let's see... there was one other one I'm forgetting, that is Phil forgetting, I've forgotten what the other one was, and then
I think
this one.
it's a very important...
No, I'm getting that one. Yep. And then this one, which is pretty interesting, and he pulls out Mel's journal. This is pretty fun.
Oh, no, you're serious.
I mean,
How long have you had that?
I completely forgot, not gonna lie. He dropped it in camp, I picked it up, had a quick read. You know, I forgot to read that week, needed to. You understand, of course.
How much of
And
You didn't incline to tell him?
I'll be perfectly honest with you, I completely forgot until you made me bring it up just now.
How you said you read all of that?
I think I did.
You would have to.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Mal slowly takes the journal back, looks to everyone. I'm gonna take an early rest tonight. I think I'm gonna write a letter to Tessie.
Have fun figuring out how much Thav knows about you now.
I need to rethink my life. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
I'll head off as well.
Wait, but just before that happens, as Meliphane saunters off, Tavagath very quickly hushes everyone into a group. Okay, I don't remember a single thing from that book.
Wow.
Really?
You could have had...
Come on!
I was skimming the entire thing. I feel like I wasted an opportunity.
Damn.
No embarrassing anecdotes, no stories about how much he loves apples, nothing like...
Apples?
Haven't you noticed that he loves apples? He eats them all the damn time.
He does love apples.
He does rather like apples. But honestly, I remember like 2 pages.
Wow.
What were they?
And there's kind of not my business to say. It's mostly anecdotes, to be honest.
Right, that's all I needed to hear. Right, good night, everyone. That's not information I need. Yes.
All right. So, you all head to bed. For some of you, bed is curling up on top of fluffy animals, or thick animals.
Hell
I
yeah.
curl up with thick animals and ox and chicken.
Who's the thick
Wait,
animal?
so, yeah.
So discounting ox and chicken, who's the thick animal, Momo?
The world may never know.
Oh boy.
You'll never know.
All right. And you're woken up in the morning to the sound of a louder clamor than usual. A big old celebration echoing through the Fiery Grog Tavern.
Trevlon wakes up and slightly surprisedly peeps downstairs to see what the hell's going on.
You look downstairs. At the bar is Toftier Duflame, bartender of the owner of the Fiery Grog Tavern.
Yes!
Trevlon immediately heads down to try and clasp him by the hand.
Alright. You get behind a lot of other people who are doing the same thing. And eventually you get over to him. He goes over, shakes your hand. Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
I'm sorry I didn't try and get you out earlier. It's been a rough business. I know I promised.
I would say I never doubted you for a second, but there were several seconds I did doubt you, so, I'm just trying to be honest here.
It's fair. Very glad you're back, Tofty.
Really happy to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back too. Put her into prison. It's not fun.
I would not imagine so.
You notice he's got a scar on his cheek now.
Oh dear. How'd you get that one, mate?
You should see the other guy.
Oh God. Well, or maybe. Do I really want to see the
fist bump?
Tough Deer gives a tiny fist bump back. He is a gnome. His hands are small.
Hell yeah.
Is Ari there too?
You look behind you in the water tank. It's no longer covered up. Tough Deer says, Ari'll be in later today. It's not a shift. She's catching up on rest, you see.
She's been. Oh, she's half the reason why you're out right now, mate.
Yeah, she told me so herself.
She was a big help in everything.
I can understand. I know it's early, but tell you what, how about a round on the house, huh?
That sounds.
That's awfully generous of you. Thank you
Sounds
so much.
good, Corellian says, walking in just now.
I heard alcohol and came as soon as I could.
Fuck yes.
Alright. Top Deer and other bar workers pour drinks, hand them over to your table. Around this time, a messenger in guard uniform enters the Fiery Grog Tavern, puts a sack full of gold on your table, gives a curt nod. Now, if that'll be all...
Thank you very much.
Mal looks to
Have a
the
nice day.
left and to the right and just says, do you... Oh god, I can't believe I'm saying this. Do you, have anything a little lighter?
Wait, what?
What?
No, he's asking the bartender and not the guard.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, we can get some water for you, kid.
That's not what I meant.
Are you saying you're going to try something with alcohol in it, mate?
Do you have like a light wine or something?
I mean, we could just water something down. That's really easy to do.
Sounds
Whatever
perfect.
works.
How about we do
Do
that?
you know?
All right.
Are you
I've been
sure you want
thinking,
to?
and I feel like if I'm gonna get through this, I need to get through my fears. This is definitely a start.
Sorry, I didn't understand that you were scared of it?
Not scared per se, but it's one of the things that reminds me of Mum.
Oh.
You see.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Let's just say if I'm gonna get through this, I need to get over myself.
Well,
Well,
you've
we
already
can't
gotten
do
over
that.
at least half of yourself already, so...
that's
That was funny!
That was a very... I know. If I wasn't a journalist, I would do comedy, and I would kill...
Scott is enjoying this. Mal is dreading it.
I mean, look, if I could do it, you can do it for sure.
Well, yeah, well, okay, there's a difference between doing it and being able to handle it, you know?
Either way,
I don't
as
know
long
where
as
you're
it's
going there.
your choice, nobody's
Maybe.
making you do it. It's all up to you.
Exactly.
How bad could it be? Yeah.
All right.
Caroline raises a claw. I can slap it out of you if it's necessary.
That would be much appreciated.
Since it's basically your first try of alcohol, make a Constitution save. Just regular, because it's watered down.
Okay.
You get a +4.
Just add a +4 to whatever this is. Oh.
You drink the alcohol. It burns a little bit, so it's distinct from the actual glass of water. But you don't immediately gag. Whether or not you enjoy it, it's up to you.
How is it?
It's not the worst thing I've drank. What
It's an
is
acquired
this?
taste.
What is...
It's ale, and then I poured some water into it, says Top Tier.
Oh, that's amazing. For reference, my friend, if you're looking for something similar, I'd just order a half pint.
I'll take note of that. Anyways.
And we do have some nice wines back at Batonrange. Just saying.
You will once they get delivered.
I would have expected them to be delivered
look
by
into
now.
that. I know my father has definitely enjoyed a wine or two once before.
In the meantime, now we'll say that the guard has dropped off the sack full of money, crossed his hands behind his back. If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
there was one thing. Who exactly put in the good word for my friend? And he gestures to Toftir.
Well, apparently, Mr. Goldtooth saw fit to say that obviously he couldn't be guilty of, making the caverns that were smuggling caverns under the Fiery Grog Tavern if the Rat King was guilty. So he considered it time spent and let him go.
Oh, good to know that there's somebody important around who I can kind of trust to do some justice. Marvelous.
Krellin will sort of extend a claw to shake in thank you and slip the guy a gold piece while they're at it.
He gives a singular shake of the hand and immediately pulls it away. You get the feeling that it's more like he's in a hurry than he doesn't like you.
Cheers, have a good day, man.
The guard
Makes sense.
nods and walks off.
Okay.
What a nice fella.
So,
Yeah.
so this is for the reward for handing in Glinquinol?
That is correct. There are 70 gold pieces in that bag.
Yeah, significantly odd number. Oh wait, no, it actually works out. So that's 14 gold each.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like it.
It's divisible by 5. You fool.
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect 70 to be. But you know that makes sense because that's weird. Why did I think that's weird?
Why did you think that's weird?
I don't understand why.
Because you're a big weenie.
It's a tens number. It makes sense, but for some reason my head was all like, "Nah, that can't. That can't."
It's because it started with an odd number.
You did maths. You were like a star at maths for like 90% of your life, but and yet 70 divided by 5 seemed impossible. God damn. Sorry, ignore me. I'm having a little bit of an existential crisis over here.
It's okay.
Is it just me, or was the guard a little more in a hurry than usual?
I mean, he's probably got a lot on his plate. A lot did just happen.
Yeah. If
I
anything,
imagine
they're
a lot
probably
of the guards
looking...
are. Yeah.
They're probably looking for evidence to find out where the Okiti went. Might be a lot of questionings.
That's fair enough.
That and all the paperwork for all the deceased.
Didn't one of the guards come over before the whole attack happened and talk to Goldtooth? Am I remembering that correctly?
You are.
Now that you mention
You're
it, I
right.
think you're right.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I mean, I am curious. I mean, look, I know, Thav, you said that it's not our business what's happening with the Okiti, but it doesn't hurt to ask, would it? I mean, if we spot him around here, I think we should have a chat, maybe. See what...
Yeah, no, I said it wasn't my business. I'm all in the business for helping, but... I mean, sure. What did you have in mind?
I don't know. Well, like... It was something that made Giovanni Goldtooth make up his mind, and it may have been something that may have made Giovanni just make his mind up and give us the 5,000 needed.
Something to
So-
do with the Rat King, since that's who the guard was dealing with before he approached Giovanni. So that's the best
Let me
guess.
clarify. It was not one of the guards who was watching the Rat King. It was a new guard that came into the auction hall and ran over to Giovanni. So it was an outside guard.
Okay, thank you. That changes things.
Yeah, that is a very important bit of clarification.
Well, it's anyone's guess at this point, considering, well...
Yeah, if I were to guess, I'd say he made the quick donation on Scarpwood. Because there was some kind of tip, because, you know, what happened immediately afterwards.
If he'd known what was going to happen, then he would have told everybody to get out.
I don't think he knew what was going to happen, but I think he was aware that something was happening. He just might not have known that it was about to occur in the room he was in. I think that was just kind of
Do you think he was in league?
I really seriously doubt it. Why would he help us?
No.
Wait. Didn't someone mention, before everyone was kidnapped or sometime before or after that someone was going to try and assassinate someone of a higher degree?
I mean, there was the whole deal with Mikkel's getting poisoned fairly often, but that... I don't know if that matches what you're thinking about.
That feels too
That
much
was...
like coincidence.
No, Mikkel's being poisoned was likely because, you know, he was dating New Lard's sister, you know?
Yeah, it matches up.
But that was poisoning though, correct?
It was.
Anyone
to
can
an
use
extent.
poison.
Well, you know what I mean. Never mind.
Sorry, I don't mean to discredit you completely. I think that's a good idea, but
No,
I
it's
don't
okay, it
know that
makes
we have
sense.
enough to make assumptions along that line of thinking.
You're
So
right,
I'm
you're
trying to...
Okay.
How about this?
I think
We're all...
we should...
Oh, yeah.
No, I think we should try and get in contact with Stormkirk. We finished the job, everything's hunky-dory, everything's now, as far as I'm aware, sorted. So we should... This was his mission. Ask him if that's all, if there's anything else he needs doing, and what happens next. Sound good? Go on the boat?
Seems legit. I like this idea.
I suppose.
No objections?
My God.
Okay. Doesn't look like there are any objections.
I don't think so.
Cool. Alright. You head out of the tavern, go looking around, back at the auction house, because that was where you last saw him, and you run into Lord Stormkirk, who looks at you and is like, "Ah, good, I was hoping to run into you again."
As were you, mate. We did it. We did the thing.
Indeed we did. I suppose congratulations are in order. You proved yourselves to be valuable assets.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, since, as it turns out, the Okiti's treasure hoard is null and void, it is currently being inspected and divvied up as to those who they have, I believe, inconvenienced is the most politically correct term for it. Once that's settled, you'll be getting a
finder's fee of sorts from it.
Sweet.
Alright.
Speaking of the Okiti, though, it's been unusually quiet after they points to the crashed and kind of smashed up auction house after that happened.
It has been. It's been, well, tense is probably the right word.
They've claimed that not all of them were in on the job, not all of them were following the orders of Captain Vincent, some were just happened to be in town. Yet a lot of them have retreated further and further into the slums. Not in the way that would be normal for those having their homes bought out from under them.
What are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything. Technically speaking, your job is done.
I would say it would be normal for a people to retreat as far away from an authority's eyes as possible if their entire people were looked down upon and assumed to be criminals. It's the only way to stay safe.
He looks over at
Of
you,
what do I-
Corellian, gives you a nod. Yes, that would make sense coming from you.
Precisely.
That
So,
being
That
said,
note?
that being said, given that they still have agents here in Port Mirandu, I doubt they would be up to anything good. So, while I cannot officially endorse this, nor do I particularly care about the results, if you are intending to look into the Okiti, there have been a couple of rumors going around. Some sort of gathering over by Rosewater Stream.
Isn't that what we were looking for?
It's what our captive friend told us to look. Look, guys, I know you're not... I know not all of you are into doing more than we need to, but maybe we can do this? I want to figure out if, if...
I think if we have a lead, we should follow it. Just
Yeah.
my opinion.
It would make a great story,
Do you
Would the-
honestly think that this is a good idea?
No. I don't.
Let me rephrase. Do you honestly think this is something worth following up on?
Well, there is the fact that old Ren said that he was trying to negotiate with the Okiti.
Yes or no?
I think I want to investigate this.
Oh. Fine. Good enough for me then.
What about you two? Three, I should say. Thav, Mal, Momo? Interested in seeing what's happening?
I will admit that I am. And I want to help.
I have no real stake in this, but you guys are fun, so I'll follow you.
That's the spirit. And Mal?
Innocent lives were taken. It's kind of my thing. What the hell? I'm in.
Cool. Right. Let's pay them a visit.
That said, I'm still waiting on that shield.
Oh, yeah. I hope that should be at Barton Rand's Hall by now, and I'm sure it'll look very good on.
I agree.
I was hoping. You did get it for me after all.
Actually, I was wanting to look into something.
Mm-hmm.
Trevlin, you've been here a while.
That's a bit of an understatement, but go on.
Do you know anywhere that would make, like, a small silvered weapon?
You mean like something for battling, like, things that would not like silver?
Yeah, you could say specifically that kind of thing, yes.
Like ropes, for instance.
Yeah, baby. I don't like being able. I don't like not. I don't like hitting things and it not doing anything.
I see. Well, does Travelon know of a place like this, Alex?
Make a history check with advantage.
Baby.
Delicious
Partner around your
advantage.
There are 2 weapon shops in Port Mirandu that you know of. One that's in the slums you've never actually been in before, called Clink and Clank. The other you've actually been to before in Port Mirandu, the Noble Blades. The people that run are probably capable of silvering a weapon. They're definitely capable of repairing them, because you went there very early on in your adventures after your rapier was hit by the Grey Ooze.
Yeah, I know a place. There's one in the slums, but there's one in, more uptown. That's a really good place to go to. I'd advise going there. Oh, voice crack.
A little bit classist, but I can deal with it. Let's go. Wait, do you guys have anywhere you'd prefer to go first? I mean,
if we're gonna be going to this congregation, we might as well be ready.
I'll come with you, Chet. Fav.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm saying. We should probably go and prep, and if that includes going to a weapons vendor.
Yep.
Sweet.
yeah, cool. Actually, no. Fuck it. I'll ask it when it's roleplay appropriate.
Is there anything else that you needed from us, Lord Stormkirk?
That will be all. I know where to find you if I should need your services again.
You certainly do.
Of course.
I get bows, and the starts to walk away with a pep in his step.
Alright. Cool.
Normal hops and dance shoulder.
Hell yeah.
You head... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not even sure if it's relevant anymore. Never mind.
Okay, well then. You head back to the market district, which is in the direction of the slums anyway, so that works out. And back into Noble Blades, where a young woman with a name tag on that reads Lucy looks up and is like, hello there, She looks over at you, Treblon. I remember you. You came in here a couple months ago. Do you need fixing the rapier again?
Thankfully, no. My big friend here was, in fact, looking for something a little bit more...
Yeah, I need a certain kind of weapon, or, what am I looking for? Addition to a weapon. I need it silvered. I don't know what that means.
She nods. Silver, that's usually Peter's specialty. She calls to the back, Peter! And then, a taller-looking, young gentleman leans over and is like, yeah? This tall man needs something silvered? Peter looks over and nods, as you head over. Silvering is, it's rather tricky to do, I should let you know. Covering a weapon in silver, or specifically forging it out of silver without having it lose its effectiveness, it takes time, it takes, great skill, and it's not exactly cheap. Are you still going to go through with it?
How not exactly cheap are we talking?
Covering 10 pieces of ammunition or 1 weapon in silver, that would be 100 gold.
Okay. And just for a mechanics thing, covering, let's say, Spider's Edge in silver would not affect any of its other stats, would it?
It would not.
Bitchin' then. Just keep with the... Just make this thing even more powerful, fuck it. So, 100 gold for this, and he plunks Spider's Edge down the thing.
Peter looks over at it, gives a nod as to the design. Yes, 100 gold if you just leave this here. I imagine it would take us a day, maybe 2, to get it done, depending on how busy Edmund is.
Day, maybe 2. Sounds good. I pick up here.
Unless you'd like us to deliver, but that's an additional charge.
Yeah, I'll just pick it up here in a couple days. Is this a pre-charge, or do you charge when they...
It's a pre-charge. We used to do upon pickup, but too many people tried to cheat us, unfortunately.
That's fair, that's fair. Okie dokie, here is 100 gold. There we go.
Thank you very much, sir. And Peter
thank you.
takes Spider's Edge, takes it over to a back room. Lucy walks over. Is there anything else you wanted to look at? We got all sorts of different things for sale.
I'll have a look. Momo kind of like. What's a quiver?
A quiver holds arrows.
I see.
I've been holding mine in.
What exactly did you think it might be?
I don't know. I'm not good at archery.
I don't judge. It's fine. Says Lucy, giving you some comforting pats.
Thank you. I like Lucy.
I love Lucy.
What specifically is the difference between a hand crossbow, heavy crossbow, light crossbow, and light crossbow?
Size, mostly. Hand crossbow is something you could easily hold in one hand. Light crossbow, you need two hands to mess with it. Heavy crossbow, it's bigger, you still need two hands, it just hurts a lot more when you shoot people with it.
Okay.
Momo kind of eyes the daggers. What are their shapes exactly?
They are not ritual daggers.
No, hold on. Okay, that's just what I wanted to clarify. Stop laughing at me. I don't like this. Stop bullying me.
I'm sorry.
Leave him alone.
He's a good boy. I know. I'm sorry.
Leave the poor sweet boy alone.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was just too good.
Favagath speaks up again. Actually, would you know anywhere that I can... he kind of just whispers at this point. Thoroughly destroy a magical item?
You know, there was this one table that Susan and I found, but I think it's broken now, so I think you might be out of luck in that case.
Okay. No issue. Thank you.
Alright.
I'm going to decide whether or not I want a crossbow.
Is there anything else you wanted, besides the crossbow?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I'm good as well.
Alright, there we go.
Just because I lost my delicious Javelin of Lightning, and I've only got one normal Javelin at this point, which I'm probably not going to end up using, because... I would like to do more range damage in certain situations, so I'll buy a heavy crossbow.
Alright.
10 gold worth of crossbow bolts.
Cool. You now have plenty of crossbows, a case to hold them all. Not plenty of crossbow bolts, rather. You don't have the stack of crossbows with only the one bolt between them. Lucy directs you over to another person working at Noble Blades, saying her name is Susan, who talks to you about how to use a crossbow. Just point and shoot, and it's a bonus action to load it back up to shoot again. And you get a heavy crossbow. You can drag that into your character sheet, I think.
Yep, heavy crossbow. Heavy crossbow.
There we go. Cool.
Put that shit in there. And there it is. 1d10 plus 1 piercing. Yeet.
Yay. Your ranged damage is now there. And that being done, you head into the slums and over towards Rosewater Stream. As
Momo. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I need to fix some stuff here anyway. Keep going.
No, Momo. If you're ever curious to learn about the bow, I know someone who is very skilled with it who could train you.
Is that so? I've honestly been looking for another weapon. Like a significant one like Fav has. Since the other ones aren't very healthy for myself. You know? I'd rather forget those kinds. I never want to think about it.
Well, being able to fight from a distance is definitely a good skill to have.
And plus I can fly, so... Maybe
Mal,
I should go with some sort of archery.
Mal chuckles to himself and moves on ahead, but not before saying, I'll put a good word in for you with Quintessa.
Quintessa? You never would have guessed.
Neither did I.
As we're making our way down, by the way, is question for Corellian actually. Where exactly are they walking in relation to everybody else?
I'd say probably lagging a bit behind. They're not particularly too keen on going in here because we're very recognizable, and what could we possibly say to a bunch of Oki? But yes.
Excellent. Trevelyan hangs back too, and coughs into his hand before speaking. You know, you trailed off a bit when you were talking to me, when we were talking about Glinquinol. Care to continue? I'm all ears.
In retrospect, I don't really know how much of my business that is, but you did mention previously that you would talk about, or tell me what exactly happened with you and the Lower Monsoon District.
I'll make a long story short.
You don't have to.
Let's just say people there have a good reason to dislike me. I did something. Something I wasn't necessarily aware that was... I was tricked into doing something very bad, and I didn't look into it when I should have. And
sort of slowly nods at this.
It didn't go well for most people down there. I'll tell you that.
Including you, I guess.
You have no idea. Trevelyan looks kind of a little bit glassy-eyed as he says this. A little dead inside, but that's fine.
Corellian sort of hesitantly puts a claw on his shoulder. Like I said, it's my business.
I'll tell you the whole story when I'm confident you'll understand. Not that I don't think you will. It's just my insecurity's getting a little heady. You know, it's not making anything to do with talking about it easy.
Corellian sort of flicks there at this and gives Trevelyan's shoulder a little squeeze. No, I get it, and I'm sure being here isn't a lot much help.
It'll be fine. As I say, I'll explain it when the time comes. And it'll be soon. I'll tell you that.
It's fine. Like I said, it's none of my business. Whenever you're ready, if you're ever ready.
You got it. Trevelyan gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, and Corellian will sort of withdraw their claw and not really know what to do with it.
Alright. In the meantime, evening quickly approaches as you head into the slums and get to Rosewater Stream. It's a big map. You're down towards the bottom left. I'll click you over there here in a second.
Somebody turn on the lights, I can't see shit!
Zoop.
Thank you.
Alright.
Health bars.
Numbers! Holy shit! That is an update I did not know about.
But only on some of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Preferential treatment, eh?
Wait a minute.
I'm seeing all
How
of
the
them.
fuck do I have more health than Corellian?
Corellian's been taking the average.
Yep.
You're a lucky man with your health rolls.
The viewers can see all of them. I think it's a matter of who can control who.
Oh.
Anyway.
Right. Certain degree of sense.
Get pranked, bitch.
Rosewater Stream, as has been said, is not a very nice district. Not only does it look terrible with, cobwebs and broken pieces of wood and stone scattered everywhere, all the buildings look in disrepair. There are just, scattered barrels piled up in the streets. And the smell, it smells like sewage has been brought up to the surface. It smells like wet mangy dog, and a bunch of them all gathered together. It basically smells like anything but roses in this district.
Yeah. I was about to say, this place is named slightly,
Does not live up to its name.
new.
Everyone, make a Constitution save.
It doesn't smell that bad. You're gonna want to save those.
Grows mildew on armpit.
Okay. When we arrive, can we hear or see anything particularly interesting as we?
Make a perception check.
I'll give advantage to that.
Thank you, you sweet man.
All right. You take a quick look around. You look in the windows, many of which are boarded up, of some of these houses. A couple of them look to have been mansions at one point, but the second floor just, collapsed in on itself, so now they're 1-stories with 2-story roofs just folded down on top of them. Occasionally, you see flashes of movement in the windows. Malifane, as you're helping him look, you think you can hear bits and pieces of conversation in Okidi, mostly them saying, quiet, quiet. And you can also see a particularly tiny Okidi trying to hide behind some of these barrels and doing a terrible job.
Oh my god, he's beautiful!
Oh.
He's doing...
Does it look like... What is it? How do I put this? Frightful, just hiding in general, what is it showing?
No insight check needed. The Okidi is kind of looking back your way, noticing that you're still looking at it, and just ducking down. It looks like it's trying specifically to not be looked at by you, and is just very, very bad at it.
Hey. Oh yeah, I looked at the guy. I looked at them just as if to say, this isn't going to be a threat. Can we just help them or whatever?
Just be careful. Something seems off.
I would like to check my surrounding areas.
Cool, yeah. Make another perception check, I guess.
All right.
It is eerily quiet. You can occasionally hear the pitter-patter of Okidi feet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can spot movement, from one house to another. You get the feeling that there are a lot of Okidi gathered around here. And, a lot of them are trying their best to not be seen. And there's just the one tiny one right in front of you who is failing at it.
He's beautiful.
This feels too... I know this might be a trap, but it just doesn't feel right.
No, it doesn't.
Malifane. It's definitely a trap.
We're walking in anyway.
I say we help them, but stay on our guard.
No, I think we should just leave them be. Just ignore them. It could be a trap. I don't trust this a bit.
I can't just...
Look, he's trying to hide. Don't hurt his pride.
Travelon takes a few steps forward and pretends to examine the barrels as he says, There a particular reason why you're trying to hide, mate?
She says in a very tiny voice, I was hiding from you because you look very angry. If you saw me trying to do something, you would hurt me or that.
Can I roll insight to see if they're telling the truth there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have discovered a frickin' miracle, an honest Okidi.
I thought so. Hey, easy there. We're not gonna hurt you.
Are you sure? Because they said I was trying to trap you, and I don't think I am, but usually when people say trap, that means hurting things.
Sorry, did you say that they
Points
telling
to
you that-
points to Momo.
Oh.
Sorry, I.
You have
Momo kind of like scratches the back of his head. I didn't mean that in any offense. I just.
We've had a long couple of days.
you have my word. Nobody in this group is going to harm you.
Momo nods and
okay.
kind of like steps up and crosses his heart. Like, I didn't mean any offense. I'm sorry.
What's your name?
My name is Rayana Kiki.
I love her.
Say hi to Kikyo's guest character.
Very good.
Look at that adorable little bitch. Love her.
I love her. She's beautiful.
How did you end up all the way out here? It's
I-
really quiet.
I live here. She says.
Yeah, I was. That kind of does that. You know that one reaction image or GIF where someone's like, "Oh no, it's Nathan Fallon" or something like that, where reaches out his hand to stop someone, and then just kind of poses his fist, puts it around his mouth, just going, go on.
Yep.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Why are you out here?
Again,
Same question.
I live here. This is where I.
I think what my slightly inarticulate friend is trying to say is, why are you out here alone when no one else is?
Yes.
Well, I mean, no one lets me go along with them on the I think you call them stealing raids, because I'm not very good at it. And
Well,
There-
that's okay.
I'm not really alone. There are still a bunch of us gathered northeast. I think meeting a cloaked lady.
A cloaked lady, did you say?
Yeah.
Did she seem dangerous?
Everything seems dangerous when you're Okiti.
Did she seem scary beyond all reason?
I mean, in comparison to you, are you asking?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Listen to the average cloaked lady.
Do you know her name?
No,
That's okay.
but yes,
My
she.
name's Mama, by the way. And he extends his hand.
Rayana extends a shaking hand, and it's very adorable as she tries to shake your hand. Then she finally
Momo gives
answers.
a very kind, loving smile, like, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Brianna, I hate to interrupt and get down to business, but this cloaked lady, did she happen to have red eyes that you could see?
Yes.
Corellian,
I think I know where you're
what exactly was this red-eyed lady? I know she was wanted, but do we know what she was wanted for?
Spectros Strain, I don't believe I'm pronouncing that right. Wanted in connection to the Plague Lords.
Plague Lords.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That actually raises a very interesting point that Trevlon's not thought of before. Alex, does Trevlon know much about... So, Trevlon had a little bit of a brainwave when he was thinking about Okiti and armaments and tactics like that, back when they were in the sewer. Is Rotgut something that the Okiti frequently use?
Make a medicine check.
Okay. Please be a good...
You know the Okiti use something called rot bones. You're not sure if rot gut is used frequently, though.
Well, I don't know much about all of the Okiti weapons of trade, but I have a hunch that I know where they may have gotten the Rutgut jars from.
Well, we already know they're getting their shit from other places. I mean, that first little gaseous thing, I can't remember what it was called. The ones with the boils and the closing throat.
That wasn't the Okiti, remember?
Yes, I know, but it's the whole situation. There's obviously a third party specializing in this crap.
Rihanna gives a very tiny clearing of her throat.
Oh, sorry.
Meetings with this lady, they've gotten more and more frequent. Apparently, what Captain Vincent Erclea has is not enough to stop humans from taking our land. He's seeking outside help.
Well,
Makes sense.
Trevlon looks to Thav and Corellian and says, "We don't need to look for him if we get this sorted. I don't want any more rotgut outbreaks in the city. And I don't think you two do either."
No, we don't, but that doesn't change the fact that what are we going to do? Walk in and talk to everyone who recognizes us? How do you think that's going to go down? I don't want to go in there warpick swinging.
Nor I.
Maybe we don't need to.
I'm going to say something that I'm really not comfortable with saying.
Oh.
But, remember the only other time we've encountered anyone from the Plague Lords?
Two other
And this
times.
is
Remember.
Oh, sorry, the other time. So we've encountered Plague Lord people. And this is a particular Plague Lord face which has wanted posters. This is a recognized, infamous person from the Plague Lords. And it makes me sick to my core to say this. I really don't think we should engage.
So, what? You two just want to let this happen?
No.
Trevlon, none of
I
us
didn't say
said
that.
If they are involved, then. You saw what happened to Trevlon and myself. And the rest of you guys, I don't want that happening to anyone else.
I am going to say probably some reconnaissance wouldn't go amiss, but we really need to prioritize not engaging. Not yet. I really don't think we're ready. We don't have any information.
If things go balls up, we can just get out of there.
Exactly. She's not attacking she's not attacking here. She's working with these people. So, if anything goes balls, in any way, form, or size, please promise me you'll all run. Because that last encounter really scared me.
Only if you come with us. We're not leaving you behind as well.
Of course, I'm not a coward, I'm just saying.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Oh yeah, I know that's not what you meant, but it's what you implied. Come on, let's... Malifane, you're the sneakiest of us, and I hate to do this, but would you care to lead?
Really, really quickly, before we go on with all this, Rihanna, has Captain Vincent Erclea been acting himself since he's been meeting with the Cloaked Lady? Or has he been seeming different? Do you know? Did you notice?
He seems a lot meaner than usual these days.
Well, keep in mind the man did get captured for a extended period of time. Wouldn't exactly rub anybody the right way.
When was the first time you saw the Cloaked Lady?
A few weeks ago.
When did Vincent Erclea start acting mean?
A little bit before that.
Before that?
Before that.
Interesting. Thav, I promise you that if I think things are going to go wrong, I'll run too.
Does Rihanna, this is more just a flavor text thing, but does Rihanna seem still particularly shaky right now?
She seems always shaky.
Mal offers her one of the apples that he still has on him.
Your bloody apples.
Rihanna immediately goes wide-eyed, reaches out for it, stops herself, looks up at you.
You have my word.
She looks down at the apple, looks back up at you again, looks down at the apple, takes it, starts munching on it immediately. She says in between mouthfuls of apple.
Oh, I love her. I'll protect
Rihanna,
her.
you don't happen to have parents or folks you can depend on here?
Rihanna shakes her head.
As in no?
As in no.
Oh,
Rihanna, I'd like to ask you a favor. If that apple seems particularly nice, well, there's a good chance we can have room for you in our place where we live.
you mean it?
That's a good
I
one.
mean, don't see why not.
I think
wonder-
at this point, Thavik and Corellian are both exchanging looks. I don't want to speak on behalf of Corellian, but
I mean, I'd love to, but the travel is kind of difficult.
Right, especially with your people being here and all that.
That makes sense.
Our
mean,
gates are all... Oh, yeah, you go first.
I mean, if you do have a way, I would love to. It's just that's going to be a little hard for me, having no resources.
We'll find something.
If we get out of this, if we come out and everything's fine, I don't think I'd be alone in saying that it would be okay if you came with us. Right, guys?
I have no objections.
I mean,
Just stay safe for now.
Yeah.
Rihanna nods. I'll be back over here. Good luck following, going
Wait,
upstream.
Rihanna.
Yes.
Momo gives her 2 gold pieces.
She looks wide-eyed at the gold.
Go and take it. It's for you.
She grabs it. Well, that's more than I usually get. Thank you.
those little rat squeaks in the background, I fully believe those came from Rihanna just now.
Yes. I know.
I can't... Ah, bless.
God, I want to take care of her.
Right.
We'll be back for you.
Well, I mean, she mentioned the Northeast. Would you mind?
Of course not.
Can I come with?
Same here.
I won't go... Look, I know that you guys think I'm going to do... I know you guys think I'm going to do something stupid, but I promise you I will stay quiet and stealthy. I'm good at that,
Oh, no,
if I want.
I don't.
Mel has a smirk on his face, as just like, I'm more concerned if you'll be able to keep up.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say he's way more sneaky, way faster. That's all. Reconnaissance usually works better in smaller groups.
Just
Instead
be
of, you know-
careful and realize that there are many eyes on you, I'm sure.
I prefer... Well, okay, this is the thing, though. Malifane is going to recon and look at the Plague Lord, one of the group of people that want to take Mal and sort of do bad things to him. I don't feel comfortable leaving him alone.
They don't exactly have much interest with me now that he's gone.
You did directly, well, they could find a reason. I have a theory.
I suppose if you're that concerned, if it'll put your mind at ease, just seriously try to keep up.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty good at that when I want to be. How big are Okiti, by the way, Alex?
Okiti are not very big. Rihanna in particular is 3 foot flat.
So our size.
Yeah,
She's one Trevlon tall.
She's almost 1 Trevlon, yeah!
Trevlon would like to cast Disguise Self, first of all.
Okay. Alright. You disguise yourself as an Okiti with no tail.
How
Well,
can I not disguise that part either?
You must adopt a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. You don't have a tail, Trevlon, so you cannot get an Okiti tail.
I'll pretend like it got cut off or something. I don't know.
just put on some sunglasses.
Of course.
Act as one of the three blind mice.
Hardy ha.
Stop talking, not you know.
All right. Now then. You're going to sneak through?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everyone who's sneaking, roll stealth.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Oh, I'm afraid.
Ugh. Can I use my inspiration to get an advantage on that?
Sure.
Oh, perfect.
No. Okay. All right. Those are your scores as you go through the streets of Rosewater Stream. Trevlon, you're a bit more confident because you're disguised as an Okiti. You think it'll be fine.
I hope so.
As you come into what once was a town square, you see two paths. One leading directly north, and then a bridge going over the stream. You can immediately see why they call it Rosewater, because this was probably pure blue water at one point. Now it is polluted with all manner of things, including what you're pretty sure is blood. There might be some bodies down there, too. Who knows?
I see a skeleton.
I see rats.
I see.
I see.
I see.
Northeast it
Why they
is.
call it Rosewater now?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So good. Very, very big fan of this.
Well, wait. This still seems too easy. There's gotta be... Can I roll perception?
Sure.
Alright.
That's persuasion.
Fuck!
You persuade the skeletons in Rosewater Stream to not stab you.
Did it succeed?
Yes!
Did it at least succeed?
You definitely succeeded. The skeleton gives a thumbs up and sinks below the river like in Terminator 2.
It's beep boop, it's spook.
Okay.
Alright. You take a look on the bridge. The bridge looks fairly empty, like it's not watched. Across the bridge, you see what remains of a street sign reading Hedgerow Path, but that's about all you can see.
I'm just gonna take this slowly because I'm still not entirely sure what to make of this. Come on, guys. Step by step.
Step by step we go.
Alright.
I love how this is just an isometric path at this point.
I must move at only 90-degree angles.
That is life.
Snick!
Alright.
And
You-
that, I'm assuming, or like you said that there were Okiti in the houses before. Are there any still over here that we noticed? Or?
You head into what the street sign says is Hedgerow Path. There are several more, decrepit manor houses down this way. It looks like, yes, there are lots and lots of Okiti in here. You can definitely hear the sound of them chattering away. A couple in the house directly north of you right now, Malafane, you can hear seem to be pouring drinks and having a little celebration.
If we could find a way around that, this might be easier.
As we notice this, can Trevlon pick up what they're celebrating about?
Do you speak
Can I
Okiti?
try and listen to what they're like?
Actually, now that you mention it, I might be able to pick up a little bit.
Oh, I didn't mean to click that immediately, but I do. Would detect thoughts be immediately detected if I did that? Like just to Just get a brief whiff of what they're thinking.
It has a verbal component, so you'd have to say something out loud, which means yes.
Then I will not. I will not do this.
I will try to listen in as best as I can while still staying on guard.
I'll give you advantage.
Thank you.
All right. You lean in towards the manor. You listen in. Make a perception check.
Oh boy, I'm making a lot of these today.
Okay. From what you hear and what bits of the Okidi language you managed to pick up, you hear that something about they've taken quite a haul, and they're holding it both here and in, let me actually double check because I have notes on the specific thing, and in the Northwest Guild Hall, apparently. They've got quite the haul holed up, and they plan to spend it all in the next couple of days. They've already spent some of it on wine.
Something about a hall, spending money on it west and... Well, you know what? Fuck it. I relayed this information.
Might be something worth telling Giovanni when the time comes. For now, though, let's just keep moving and trying to find our place. Sorry, I hate to be meta, but tell Giovanni what? Giovanni, we have news. The rats have stolen things.
The rats have stolen things, and we might have a location for where it is.
What was the Northwest Hall?
Northwest Guild Hall.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Alright, follow my lead. And knowing that the houses are populated, and they probably will see us, I get down on my hands and knees and sort of do that G.I. Joe crawl.
Whereabouts are we doing this?
Well, if the houses are populated, then, just avoid line of sight, so...
Alright, we're still sneaking.
Still sneaking. Not much to say, honestly. Just pray that we don't get seen.
Or at the very least...
You continue to sneak through the streets and alleyways of the district. You pass over a couple of sewer grates that look not very well maintained, as well as a couple of carts. More and more carts, actually, as you continue going this way. You get the feeling this used to be a market square.
I can't help but feel bad at this point. This really is their home, and we essentially took it from them. At the same time, though, who knows what could have happened if Stormkirk, if we didn't.
As you debate all this, Malifane, you catch the glimpse of some kind of boat on the river. On this particular side, it is being watched and looked at by an Okidi in a very fancy vest.
Do we recognize him?
This is not Jemvik.
Okay.
Be careful.
Is he alone? Is he with someone else?
He looks to be by his lonesome.
Is he looking around?
He's mostly looking at the boat from this side of the river. He doesn't seem to be looking back behind him your way.
I can still see something within the dim light, though.
Yes, you can. You see...
Stop metagaming.
A humanoid...
That's not metagaming, because that is a...
You see some kind of humanoid figure. It's at the very edge of your dark vision, so that's about all the detail you can
make out.
Make out.
That's fair. What should we do from here?
Well, there's a ship there. I think we need to see what's on it.
Should I send a message to the Corellian tavern? And then?
Allow me. I don't want you to waste your magical abilities. I've got a message for them. And,
I appreciate that.
Meanwhile, it's too dangerous to go directly into their line of sight. I'm going to see if I can go around the building here.
Please
Sounds
be
good.
careful.
As Mal starts doing this, Trevlon points. I guess it would be southwest from where we are now, and sends a message. And I think he's trying to direct it to Corellian. And he says, "We found some Okiti that are rallied together. There's a boat."
Okay.
Anything else?
Points again. Some are celebrating about a hall in one of the guild halls around here. That's something that Giovanni might be interested in.
Giovanni and I doubt that Thavagath and I will be able to get through unnoticed, will we?
Maybe not, but that doesn't. But just because we tell Giovanni doesn't mean we have to be there either. Just leave it to him.
Tell them about the Northwest Guild Hall.
That's
He did.
Northwest
Okay.
Guild Hall.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be valuable information to pass along, but we're not leaving you all here. Just, if anything happens, holler and we'll go in, but a stealthy approach isn't something that Thavagath and I are capable of.
Speaking of the stealthy approach, Malifane, you creep around the side of the building and look over. There is a boat around the size of a skiff floating in the middle of Rosewater Stream. Looks to have some kind of brass and copper wheel contraption at the back. On the far side are another fancy-looking Okiti and Captain Vincent, who is conversing with the people on the ship in Thieves' Cant, which you speak. He's saying something about getting the materials and getting them now. On the ship stands two figures. One is a minotaur, a really big black-furred minotaur. You actually recognize this one. He was one of the ones you fought back in the mines / the caves in Demdor.
Oh boy.
And the other is a woman in a black hooded cloak, but you can kind of see more details now that she is actually in the light. She is wearing a silver shirt over half of her torso, a layered gray skirt, and some laced up leather boots. Plus, she's got a big old wide-brimmed black hat, and you can see like the flash of some red eyes from the corner of her, because she's got her back to you right now. However, the Minotaur's passive perception is 17. And as you creep around the side of the building, he snorts.
We are followed.
And the woman turns towards you, and you can hear a clank, clank as she turns and steps around. Half of her body is covered in brass and copper plating, and she's wearing a half gas mask decorated like rows of jagged metal teeth, and both of her eyes glow red, but then glow green for a second as she stares directly at you. The eyes go red again. She turns over.
Cabal, my friend, it's been too long.
She
Sorry.
turns over towards Captain Vincent and says,
You said we'd be alone. Deal's off.
she says, pointing towards them.
Oh.
Vincent looks over, snarls,
I believe you'll find the deal's still on.
pulls out a cutlass. Once we kill them all, lads! And then here is the picture of the cyborg woman.
I love her.
Holy fuck, it is Cabal.
I
Yep.
have quite the erection.
Me too.
Yeah. And you hear the sounds of several daggers being drawn and crossbow bolts being loaded. And that is where we're going to call our session.
I am satisfied with this.
Malifane, you fool!
We're about to run the hell
You
away
got
from
yourself
this
killed.
companion.
This has been fun. We'll see you next time as our heroes run the fuck away. Because this is a fun encounter.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, bum, ba-da-da. Bum, bum, bum. All right. See you all on the next episode of Fallen Empires, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, guys.